GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, body.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and that is David, aka Dream Twister, and this is the real episode 322. GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
I get no cue, no nothing. It's just like it suddenly start, and I'm like, where's my script? Where's my script? Line.
Line, please. Line, please.
GG. Oh, thank you. GG.
Thank you.
Line.
Thank you to the little guy who whispered that to you just now. Sir, how are you? How have you been? How has been your week?
Oh man, my week has been phenomenal. I actually don't know why. When we go into what we've been doing, I might throw a few things that I've seen.
Oh, okay.
Because games that I've been playing has been the same. But other than that, everything's fine. Everything's just fine. Just disregard the fire around me. Everything's just fine.
Oh, yes, that wonderful little meme that gets used all the time. I think we all at some point or another.
Oh, that's the new normal, bro. That's live now.
That is
just,
America. Yeah, America.
Exactly.
Americans in the middle and America's on fire.
Yeah.
And yes, this is
and
fine.
we're fine.
Yeah, we're totally fine.
And we're totally fine.
Sir, I'm so excited to say that I finally got my cigar case.
Oh,
Going. Yes, I have a nice little humidor, and I got some. I ended up ordering some. They're called Crazy Alice. Is the cigar?
Crazy Alice is the cigar. What is a humidor, sir?
Oh, the humidor is something where a place you put your cigars in so they don't dry out.
Oh, so it's a humidifier for
your
cigars.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cigars.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they have electric ones and stuff like that. But this is a classic old one where you just put in like this, sort of this liquid into a little container inside of it, and then it like rehydrates this gel, and then the gel basically keeps it humid inside the entire thing.
Yeah, that sounds like that sounds like a homemade thing.
I mean, it sounds like it, but it's like, I assume, I don't know. It's definitely the original way of keeping your stuff.
Okay, I don't know if it doesn't have electronics, I don't trust it.
Oh yes, you don't you don't trust.
I need a 5.1 humidibot with, and that's what it's called, a humidibot.
Yeah,
and it needs to have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. It needs to bring notifications. You know,
I know. It needs to say you are below the 70%. You're like, whoa! I need to go. I need to get my humiditor up.
I need to attend my humidibot. So that keeps my cigars always. And my cigars are all, I mean, they're all batteries because I vape them. You know, they're vape machines, they're rigs. You know, so
Oh my god!
it's all. I mean, it's all from like taken from a cyberpunk movie or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that would actually be pretty. I wonder. You know what? I'm curious now. Let me see what.
About vaping? Oh, please don't. No, don't be curious.
Electronic humidor.
Electronic. You're gonna be upgrading. You're gonna be overclocking your cigars.
Oh my god! This looks like this literally.
What?
Just bring up electric humidor, and the first thing you'll see, it seriously, it looks like a case for your PC. That's what it looks like.
Damn, yeah, that's right. The need done, because it needs to be done. Yeah. It's literally called the Nidon 23L electric cigar humidor with a Pentium 5 with a GTX 5080, and it's on sale too. Holy shit! From Wayfair. From Wayfair. That's weird.
From Wayfair. Oh,
Yeah.
the
So where you
place
get
you
it?
can buy. Yeah, we get. Okay.
Yeah.
I went right to Amazon, and the Needon's on there as well.
The Needon is
Uh,
out
the
there.
Needon,
All right. Well, can
several
you get it on
Needons.
sale for $212.63? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
see. I
228 is the lowest one here, and that's not even a Needon. That's just a warm welcome. That's the brand, by the way. A warm welcome. You
Oh, that
gotta
is
love
a warm welcome. I'm starting to think that all of this are just, some Chinese rebrand.
could be.
You buy it on AliExpress like 100 for like a particularly smaller amount, and then you can just put your own brand and resell them. I'm starting to think that we should have Gigi branded humidors.
Oh, man. This actually, I'm looking at it. It's not. Well, first of all, these are just.
You're considering for real.
I mean, I'm never gonna. It's capacity 300 cigars. I'm not gonna fucking have.
Oh,
300
of
cigars.
course
I mean,
not.
what the hell am I
It's
having?
not gonna fit all the cigars that you have. Come on.
I'm never gonna have that many. It's so the box I have is perfect. It's just one of those cedar boxes, but yeah, man, I had to season it, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited because now they're in there and they're nice and comfortable in a nice humid temperature.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So gonna be getting into a little bit more cigar smoking. For the record, guys, you don't inhale cigars. So although some
No,
people
no.
do.
I
But
learned that the
madness.
hard way on back on episode 300, the last episode 300.
Oh,
That the accident and the hilarity that ensued afterwards. It was pretty legendary.
well, haven't
Hopefully
you ever
someday
seen?
those tapes will be recovered.
Oh, yes, they will be. They will. Be.
Yes.
But how can you not have known? Is the part that I haven't you ever seen Pinocchio, the Disney's Pinocchio, where he smokes a cigar, he inhales it, and he turns green? I was like, yeah, that's about
That's
right.
what I was going for. I wanted to see,
Luckily, you didn't grow any donkey ears like he did.
No.
that's definitely a plus.
It kind of happened, but it's still, that's still recorded, and that's still on the last episode, the last show, if you will.
I love the fact that we bring it up. By the time the Lost Show comes out, people are just going to be so clamoring for all the little bits and details that we keep slipping. Only to probably realize, yeah, some of that wasn't probably recorded. But anyway, it is what it is.
We had to edit it out.
Yeah. For time. Yeah. And,
the police made us censor it.
Yeah. Not to mention YouTube. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. Not to mention, we had we didn't want to get demonetized. So.
Exactly. At some point, they pull a plug on us. But all right, guys. Well, anyway, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. If this is your first time, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. That, of course, takes you right to our Facebook group. And please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do, we go into what we have been up to, move on into news items, and then, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic. Shit, I had it up here. Phased out. Marvel Studios. Well, I guess I said that backwards. Marvel Studios phased out. There you go.
Every time you have a very good title for it, you find a way to fuck it up.
To screw it up. Yeah, every time. Every time.
Yeah. You don't deliver it the way you deliver it on the actual.
It's meant better for reading.
Yeah.
It's meant better for reading. So what do we mean by this? Well, guys, as you know, I'm sure the world knows that we are in phase 4 of Marvel Studios MCU. And to say it's been a letdown is quite the understatement, especially after the magnificent heights of everything that led up to Endgame and Endgame itself. We just kind of been iffy on everything that's come out. And so we're going to take a look at what has come out, what has worked, what's left of phase 4, and see what the problem is. What can they fix, and where is this heading to, if to anything?
I like that you threw there an idea of where this was heading, and I'm kind of curious to know more about it. I'm not being a like a deep comics guy. Like I don't know about a lot of this backstories or from the comics. So
The comics.
I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious to know
Yeah,
what this might be
it's a
heading.
good so what he's if you've read the thing he was referring to is what everybody believes we're heading towards, which is Secret Wars, which is a big basically
Story arc.
Infinity Saga's event that happened in the comic books, and so everything.
Infinity War is chapter 1 of this thing. It's going to be epic.
Yeah. I hope certain. Well, anyway, we won't go into too much. We'll bring it up later. But I hope certain things don't get repeated from that storyline, because then you end up bringing people back, and it's just like, oh God,
Oh
what are we doing? But that's how comics are. So that's what it is. No one dies in the comics, guys. Let's be real.
no, I mean
Uh,
there are a trillion gajillion multiverses and megaverses
yeah.
and metaverses, so you can always pull from one to fill the void on another.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
All right. So stay tuned for that. So let's get into what we have been up to, Mr. Dream Twister.
yes, sir.
What have you been doing?
That I might have oversold it because
Okay.
it's really not that exciting. You guys know that I've been playing Horizon already, so let's get
Still?
that
No, I'm just kidding.
one out of the way. Yeah, it's trudging, dude. It is trudging. It's not. I feel like I always have to come with a disclaimer. It's not a bad game. It's just it's not the type of game. It's not my particular favorite open world. But that said, it does have some things that are good. And very recently, I went through a particular story arc that I found interesting. It was not that it was like phenomenal, like oh my god, or revelatory or anything like that, because that doesn't seem to happen in this game for some reason. But it introduced a character. I was like, okay, cool. I like this character, but that's it.
Oh.
But I won't spoil anything. But I would say that I tend to finish. I tend to finish. And so far my opinions haven't changed. This game it's still projecting that 3. It's still a good game. I can't. My gut feeling is like, oh my god, I'm just so like literally sometimes I don't even want to play it. I'm just like, I just need to see it through the end, but I am not having fun. But then I start playing it and it's like, okay, I'm not like having a lot of fun, but it's kind of like I'm just going through the notion. God knows I've done that with a lot of Ubisoft games, so like
Okay.
why not? Like I did that with Far Cry 5. So that should tell you. It's really playing just for the sake of going through the motions.
Oh wow. Wow.
But I knew that I needed a break. I needed to throw in something to season my gaming week a little bit. And for some reason that landed on Dragon's Crown.
Oh shit. Wow.
Remember Dragon's
That is
Crown?
mad random. Yes, I do.
That is mad random, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Sir, I love that game. I really like Dragon's Crown. And we've spoken about it, but it's been a very long time. So Dragon's Crown is basically it's kind of like a cross between an RPG, a fantasy RPG, and a action brawler, kind of like a Golden Axe. Like it wouldn't be too out of place to compare it to like a Golden Axe. I was gonna say Final Fight, but no, it's more Golden Axe.
No, it's more Golden Axe. Yeah.
Definitely more Golden Axe with loot. He has some loot that you acquire, and it has a nice progression of characters. Even though the loot, it's more numbers than anything, because it doesn't. And this is the part that I wish they would have done a little bit more with it. Uh, there you don't see, like, if you wear something, you don't see what what you're particularly wearing. If you get a special type of armor, for example,
Mhm.
or a special type of gear, like, you don't see it on the character. It's like, oh, okay, you got this, I don't know, this earrings of the moon or whatever, but like, you don't see any different of your character. Your character still looks the same, like the default where where you started. You get to pick their color hair, but
Oh,
that's it.
okay.
You can change their hair color, but that's it. You know, um, Dragon's Crown is a game that came out for PS3,
Hmm.
and then it got a remaster
Dragon's
in
Crown Pro, I think it
2018, I
was called. Yeah.
believe. Yeah, they called it Dragon's Crown Pro. They didn't add much. It's reality is it's still the same game. They kind of upres the graphics, made them 4K, which if you will have to see the video side by side to realize the difference, but it's not like, oh my god,
Earth shattering.
because the PS3 title was never like, it was never about being graphically like intensive. It was just beautifully hand drawn art.
Mm.
Like, the game is drawn very beautiful, for the style that is going for, and it's kind of it's an Atlux game, but what's the
Oh,
what's the
Vanillaware.
Vanillaware? Thank you. It's the Vanillaware style of art that they tend to have in most of their games, where the characters look very anime, but in a cool stylized way, not your typical boring generic anime, character. Um, the the art is a little exaggerated and a little like on the nose with some of the designs, let's call it. Like,
Yes, to say the least.
yes.
Vanillaware has been known, and I think has received not backlash, but definitely some questions.
Backlash.
Like, well, I would say backlash. I mean, backlash is
Well, not strong, but
not a strong
been
backlash.
admonished a little bit. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, why do you always make female characters like ridiculously large breasted and with like ridiculous cartoonish cleavages and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy bullshit? Like, his answer is because I like girls, and I'm like, okay, well, like I
Who can argue with
respect
that?
but
Yeah,
I will argue that some of this kind of doesn't pass very well politically lately, but
Not at
I
all.
don't mind it. I don't give a fuck. I like it. I mean, I'm a big fan of games like freaking the original Bayonetta, for example, which was extremely what do you call
Over sexualized.
yeah, it was kind of, well, maybe not extremely, but it was kind of out there,
Mhm.
kind of tame by today's standard now that I think about it. Anyway, it's still beautiful art. It still looks very very nice. And the music on the remaster, they actually on the remaster, they change it to where it's like real orchestra. Like, it's
Oh, they
still
updated
have-
music. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they updated the music. Like, they still have the original, the original track from how it sounded on PS3, but you can switch back and forth. And it is very nice. And the music is it's very good for the type of, for what is going. It's going for that medieval type of art. And then when you go out there, is basically, yeah, it's an action brawler, where you can either play with others,
I was
or
gonna say it is co-op, right? Okay.
yes, it is co-op. It doesn't require co-op, but it is
Mhm.
co-op. up to 4 people. I want to say
I think so. Look at just throw
1
some
to 4 players.
screenshots.
Yeah, 1 to
Yeah.
4 players.
And you're playing this on PlayStation, bro?
Yeah, PlayStation.
Man, I
Plus.
should fucking join you on this, bro.
Wait, you own this game?
Hell yeah, on this game, man.
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, did you ever beat it?
No, I never did. I don't know.
Oh, you
I
own
don't
it.
remember why. I do own it. Yeah, I don't
You
know if I
own it.
own this version, but I mean, let me see. I think I
own
owned it on
PS3. I think
PlayStation
it's
3.
if you own the PS3, I think they're cross compatible. Like you can play the PS3 version. I mean, fuck it, you could just buy the. How expensive could it be
Could it be
nowadays?
at this point, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I would love to. That would be awesome. That's a game that I don't mind playing. Like all of us. It's good. It's fun. It's really fun. The
Dude,
game like
$4 done.
what? How much?
$4
$4?
done. It's already done. It's not even
Wait,
$4 anymore. It's already bought.
The Dragon's Crown Pro is $4.
Yeah, on PlayStation right now. Yeah.
Holy shit! And we're playing tonight. that's what we're doing.
That works for me. I'm between games anyway. So
There we go. All right, perfect. Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
I know.
All right, we should wake these fools up. It's like chaos.
So. Yeah, chaos. Call out of work.
Call out, exactly. It's an emergency.
Yeah, it's urgent matter.
We need to slay some dragons.
We need you to be the Amazon. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
So we need you to be the Amazon.
We need you to be the Amazon. Not true. No, actually, that's the character that I'm playing right now. The Amazon.
Is it? Of course.
No, because I was playing. Well, actually, I was my first. The character that I beat the game with.
So you beat it already at one point? Okay.
Oh, I've been in this game twice. I've been on PlayStation 3, and then when I got this one, and I don't remember what I was originally, but this last one, I saw my save file, and it was the mage, I think it was. Yeah, okay. The sorceress, yes.
Sorcerers, yeah.
Yes. And then I was like, they play the Amazon, but it don't matter. I'll pick whatever as far as we, if we get to play together. Dude, $4?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
$3.99. Yeah, $3.99 was a right. Normally it's $19. It says normally $19.99.
$19.99.
I was like, so let me take a look. You just brought it up. I was like, it's Kismet. That's what that is.
Oh, dude, download that shit because that is. I mean, we need to be playing that. I like it. I like it. It's very. You can shut your brain down and play it. If you're playing by yourself, it does have the option of, well, let's throw in some CPU controlled allies, if you like, but you don't want to really do that because you want to kill everything because you want to level up, and B, it's like you might as well play with your friends. Mm-hmm. This is one of the few games that I don't mind doing co-op. As a matter of fact, I will highly encourage. And guys, if this is $4, this is a must get.
This is a steal.
Just grab it because it's fun. So that's Dragon's Crown Pro. That's all I've been playing, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't tell you if it. I mean, I always dabble in little games here and there, just kind of like testing, like, oh my god, I need to find something that at least will be entertaining. But nothing sticks, That's what led me through finding Dragon's Crown. I was like, oh. Let me take this old dusty tome and see what's in here. Oh, it's Dragon's Crown. I haven't seen you in ages.
It's been 87 years.
It's been 8. No, but I have I watched a couple of things, and I will be remiss if we don't.
Oh, for
both
sure.
of us talk about Stranger Things episode final, the last episodes of the season 4, which finally came to be. Actually, the day of the podcast is when they came out, if not the previous day, but we hadn't seen them, and we were very concerned with spoilers and with things leaking, and like no. So I even went in a whole social media blackout just so that I could go in unspoiled and having seen them unsullied, yes. And having seen them, I gotta say I enjoyed them quite a bit. Some I'm trying to remember, of it because I don't
Really?
rewatch. I don't
Okay.
rewatch it. No, it's not that they were not memorable or anything like that. It's just that it has some.
It's been a
awesome,
week already. Yeah.
and it's been a week also. Yeah, it has some awesome moments. I know that this whole season, I can say it was very enjoyable. I also gotta be careful with. Are we being careful with what we're saying because of?
I mean, we can have a little small spoiler segment, and we can just say people, move up a little bit.
Okay, right.
you know.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. So we're not there yet. So I'm just gonna say, right now, last 2 episodes did not need to be this long. I did not feel there was a justification for how weird they were as far as why would they be this long? Like I figured, okay, there's probably like a lot that they need to like wrap up. And to be fair, yeah, they do have some things to wrap up, but we've seen this done better. I feel like there was a lot of wasted time in some scenes that you probably could speak better to this if you felt the same way, but
I did.
I don't
Yeah.
Scenes were dragging a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it felt in dragging in the sense that it like the camera just lingered a little longer than normal on certain things, and I don't know, in certain action sequences, I was like, okay, so they're filling in because they want to fill in the music. You know what I mean? It's like there's music involved, and we want to make sure the whole track is so everything's slowing down. Like, all right, I'll allow that.
Yeah.
But in other stuff, it is just like, oh my god, this is still going, and it felt weirdly paced. And yeah, overall I feel like we could have had an hour and 10-minute first episode, or episode 8, I guess, and a cool 2-hour episode 9. You know what I mean? If it would have been tightly a little more tightly edited. And because of that, it just did feel weird. And I wonder, I was talking with this to my wife, and I wonder if it's just not understanding, because now you're making a film length episode, and
Right. Yes.
having such a long episode comes with different, you can't do the same things you do in a regular episode on a 2.5 hour episode, because that's not going to feel right. You know what I mean? It's like if you're making a 2-hour episode, your pace has to be upbeat and moving. You know what I mean? It's like, because otherwise it's going to feel like 2.5 hours. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In an hour-long episode, sure, you can have little lingering moments, because you have the episode's designed to have the major impactful moment in the beginning, some lingering moments in the middle, because we're filling out spaces and getting questions, and maybe speaking to them, maybe having the those slower moments and whatever, and then you have the impactful moment at the end that leaves you going, ooh, I can't wait for the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not to mention, you have the whole storyline, for the other one, so they don't have to.
Correct.
They don't have to cram everything on just one episode.
Exactly. And here, I felt like because they just took that and expanded it out, whatever. It's like, okay, well, now you have these longer lingering moments, you know what I mean? In an episode, because the deal is, you're not going to stop the episode either, right? You're not going to just say, all right, I'll come back to it or whatever. No, you it's an episode. You're going to watch the whole thing. And so I think that's what it is. I think there's something to be said about, the length of something, right? If you're at this point, you're making a feature length film of an episode.
You're making
and
it feel long.
Yeah, at that point you have to adjust how you deliver the information, because of it's gonna feel long. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Like I couldn't understood. Like maybe if you needed to do the last episode be like you said, just have the finale be this this epic episode, right? But delivering into delivering the two episodes like that, and then the 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 editing, like it felt like a lot. Like it was not. I was entertained. Don't get me wrong. I was entertained, but
So
at
was
the
I.
same
Yeah.
time, there were points where I was like, okay, like we need to move on. Like we need to. This needs to end already. This needs to wrap up already because it's starting to weigh down a little bit, and that's never a good thing because like you were saying, it makes it makes you realize how long the
How long
episode
it's
is,
gone. Mhm.
and
And
I
I have to
totally
say,
did.
I'm a little shocked. You watched it that like all together, right? You watched
Yes,
it back to back, which is
yes,
something you never do. But
no,
or I guess technically you do, but you only do 2 episodes. However, in this case, those 2 episodes became 4 hours.
it became
so,
4.
so
Yep.
in your case, because I didn't, we were going to, and then we just watched the first one, and then my wife started falling asleep through the beginning of the second one. So I was like, all right, we'll pocket this and watch the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, for you, I can definitely see it. It's just like, man, you've
Well, I
powered
kind of
through basically.
it was I kind of tried. I tried to put the pause like in the middle, like okay, we'll see the, we've seen it. And then my mom was okay with it, but like you could read her face, almost like she really wanted to continue watching. And then we had this whole
Oh,
thing where it just went into like, well, do you want to watch it? Because if you want to watch it, then I can watch it. And she's like, no, because you don't want to watch it. And I'm like, well, I'm not saying I don't want to watch it, but
yes,
it's
those
just
wonderful
long. And then
conversations.
she's like, well, I don't want to watch it because you keep saying that you want to watch it, but then you're like lingering to like, oh, but if the episode is so long. And I was like, no, just fuck it, let's just put it.
Let's just do it. Let's just rip
Let's
the
just,
band-aid.
let's just exactly. It's just count to 3 and do it. Go for it. But I needed a good 15 to 20-minute break between, kind of like an intermission,
Mhm.
and that felt fine. I ate, I grabbed something real quick to like an intermission, basically. Watch the intermission, and you go back and you continue watching the show, and it was good because it allowed me. Like by the time we were done, I think it was like almost 3 in the morning. But
I'm sure. Yeah.
it was good. It was good. It was good. Like we kind of wanted to talk about it, even even we did for a little bit, but it was too late also at the same time. So, and I gotta say, with with the way that things wrapped up, like I was okay.
Mhm.
I'm okay. I'm not okay with a lot of things. With a lot of things, with a few things, actually, I should say. But overall, I was satisfied. You told the story. You told the story, and this is without a doubt the best season that this show has had.
Yeah.
And
I can
yeah,
definitely agree with that. I can definitely
and
agree with that.
at that, and at that point, I don't know if we want to throw the flag in so that we can actually stick with you for a little
Yeah, I
bit.
can I can say the same thing. There's some character. There's wonderful character moments before we throw the flag.
Yeah,
There's
right.
wonderful character moments. I think Eddie is probably one of my favorite characters in the Stranger
yes.
Things lore.
Yeah.
It did have.
I think this was a season of Eddie and Max, dude.
Yeah,
Like
I
hands
agree.
down, my favorite.
I agree.
My
Yeah.
favorite characters.
Some characters had, unfortunately, because of the focus on others, and when you have such a big cast, it makes it difficult to give everybody their due. So
Right.
certain characters unfortunately fell by the wayside. But
Gosh,
knowing where we're going
2
into,
hours and they're gonna make it.
yeah, knowing that we're having a final season 5, you can kind of already see, again, read the tea leaves that I'm saying. Go, I know where they, I know who's gonna freaking be the, what characters who were in the background who are now going to be in the foreground.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, I do agree that it did feel long, and I still feel that it's probably because they just didn't understand, when you're making a 2.5 hour episode or a feature length, whatever, you need to have good pacing, and that just kind of messed everything up. I did love how no spoilers here, but I love how there was this almost reconciliation of characters, before leading to the finale, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is definitely cool. I like this. And what happened in the end too as well, I was like, yep, I'm cool with this. Certain things maybe not so cool, but overall, I think this was a very, very strong season, and in many ways, to me, may have actually saved the series. You know what I mean? And again, not that it was suddenly crap because after season 3, no, but season 3 definitely was.
It took a nosedive there.
Yeah,
it was like the plane suddenly, like, well, actually, literally, like, it was that nosedive. It was like, ooh, this is not going well. Pull up. And then season 4 came out, and then the last thing was like, yeah. And then everybody who was saved. And
exactly.
Yeah.
So quick warning, we're just going to speak briefly of spoilers here. I'm going to try to take time or mark the time starting right now, and go, sir.
Okay, well, now that we can be open, let's just cut the crap. Netflix, you fucking bastards. Go screw yourselves. I am done with this series. I cannot believe that they did so wrong to so many characters in this game. And when I say so many, I mean the two that I care about in this season, which were the ones that brought this season, which was fucking this dude. You just mentioned his name and I blanked out.
Oh, Eddie Munson. Yeah.
I'm so angry. Eddie Munson and Max and Maxwell, or Maxine, whatever. Maxine, thank you. And at least the Eddie Munson, like the writing was on the wall for that character.
Yeah.
You could tell. As a matter of fact, you said it yourself, like almost point to point exactly how it was going to happen, and he was. Yeah, he was a hero's death, and that's basically exactly how it was. It was awesome. It was sad. It was definitely sad. When I say awesome, it was like he got his due. It was a respectful send off.
Yes,
it was definitely a respectful send off, and something that it was sad because Eddie Munson was a very endearing character at the end. Like you wanted to see more of him, and now unfortunately you can't. You won't.
You will not. Although I think we will hear more, because one of the frustrating points is not only did he die, and I don't mean frustrating. Again, I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna go. But what really like drives it or makes it just worse is the fact that no one like he gave the ultimate sacrifice, awesomely, mind you, with his freaking Master of Puppets rendition, you know what I mean, and then running off and saving Dustin and everything. He did that awesome rendition and everything, only to die. And no one other than the crew, but the rest of the world, at least in Hawkins, I should say, Hawkins still vilifies him as a devil worshiper and all this other. And it's just like, that fucking sucks. You know what I mean? It's like it's cool because it's not over yet, and I'm sure that the Duffer Brothers and everybody involved will obviously bring that back around and clear it up. But it's just it's hurtful.
If he needs to,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's frustrating. I'm not sure if they actually need to address it any further than because he could be treated like you remember Bob. You remember that Bob's dead on season 2. That was tragic. I liked the character at the end. He was very. Me too. And he also had a hero's death.
Yeah. And people know, like that's the world knows that he's not the world. Again, people around him know that he's here, but no one outside of the crew of the main cast and and the uncle who got told what happened, you know what I mean, know that
Mhm.
Eddie, everybody else thinks that this is all his fault. Everything that's happening right
Right.
now, it started with him and whatever he was doing. And that's the thing where I'm sure it will it may not take very long. It may just be a sentence or something like that. And they just,
Right. Yeah.
maybe they just show, everybody in the town at his funeral, some shit like that. I don't know, say, okay, we got it. Everybody understands now. I don't know
Yeah.
how, whatever, but that was kind of a bummer. And then go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, proper heroes send off.
Mhm.
I'm okay if they leave it like it is, because at the end of the day, it's like the people that care about him. It's the ones that know how it went down.
Yeah.
The people that matter. Only the people that
Yeah,
matter. So
exactly. Yeah,
that's-
exactly. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. That it was a proper send off. Fucking Maxine though was the character that I don't know if what's the actress Sadie
Sink.
Sink. Yeah, I don't know if she what she could possibly have done to the Duffer Brothers or to Netflix in general or to a country. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but they did her so wrong in her send off, quote unquote, that I'm like, fuck you. That was the only part that was completely not needed. She was the highlight of the season 4 to this moment. Although she was a little too emo, but that's fine. That was writing her off.
She's been going through stuff though.
she was going through.
She has the more tragic, backstory compared to the rest of them. Yeah.
Totally. And that's why episode 4 it will still remain my favorite my favorite episode of the season, just because that epic moment at the end of how she basically escapes what would have been a gruesome death at the hands of Vecna. It was an incredible moment. It felt like those special moments that those series have without having to resort to them all being fucking red weddings and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a feel good moment. Music was perfect. Delivery was perfect. The cinematography, everything. Truly love. Just to get it fucking undermined at the end of episode 9, where she does suffer a fate that I will describe as probably more gruesome than death itself.
If you're going to go through just half of what Vecna's pushed you through, then just go all the way. This point, might as well just go all the way.
No, let's just have her. Let's just have her like fucking begging for her life, and being a very painful death. But let's not kill her all the way. Let's leave her a vegetable, because that's how we want to remember that character. It's like, fuck you, Netflix. Like you did. I mean, you were doing so well.
Both legs. I mean, you really think about that for a second.
Yes.
Both arms and those breaks.
Yes.
Those are. I mean, she's scar for life, people. Scar for life. If not to
mention blind, that also she's probably blind also.
Yeah.
Again, left her a vegetable.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And it was, and they were doing so well, not needing to have the fucking red wedding moment that every series feels the need to have the shocking, to deliver the shock value. It's like, no, because now you robbed us of that special moment that you deliver us on episode 4. It was completely not.
I agree.
She had to go. I get that she had to go. She had to do a sacrifice. She had to go all the way. Like
that would make more sense than this.
And this exactly,
because in that sense, and in there, that's what we were discussing. Exactly.
This felt fucking cruel for and nonsensical, and it was and honestly,
said, it undermined the way. So when you rewatch, because many people rewatch these, when you rewatch, you're no longer that whole episode 4 that really had us on edge just left us. Now will leave us as, oh, but this isn't the real. This
Yeah,
isn't
no.
the real
At
danger.
the end,
Yeah.
it's gonna get it worse. She's gonna
Yeah.
wish that shit was done. That
Exactly,
shit was
yeah.
done there.
And so I agree.
Not
I
running
agree.
up the hill.
And yeah, well, one. My other thing was it not only does it undermine, if because of the fact that they went they took the half measure instead of going all the way, it
Mhm.
really again points to the fact that, okay, so people are not going to die, which is fine. We don't need, and even there was actually, the Duffer Brothers have gone on record. Some people were like, hey, we were expecting more deaths in the season, whatever.
Mhm.
And then even the Duffer Brothers are like, this is not Westeros, guys. This is Hawkins. That's exactly how they responded. It's like, so we weren't trying to kill
I don't know
anybody
what that
on
means, but
Westeros, man. Westeros.
I never
Game
saw
of
it.
Thrones.
Oh, Westeros, the Game
He
of
said,
Thrones.
yeah,
Oh,
he said, this is
I
not
was thinking
Westeros.
I was thinking Westworld. This is not Westeros. Yes.
This is Hawkins. And so when I heard that, I was like, okay, I get it. That explains why, okay, you're not taking life. But this again, as you said, this is a fate worse than death. And it also, again, will undermine, like, if you were going to do this by going all the way through it, the next season, the nerve level would have been super high, right? We would have all been like, "Oh shit, who?" And they don't have to kill anyone else after that. It's just that one thing sets the stakes.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And now it's like, okay, so everybody's gonna be fine, which I'm okay with everybody being fine, for the record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right,
But if you're
exactly.
trying to amp up the stakes, and I guess in some ways this kind of does, because she's permanently scarred from this particular thing. But
Oh no, she's
I just
done for, though. I don't.
yeah, I just I don't know. I wasn't 100% on board with that, particularly. And I found this meme, which was hilarious. You know that meme where you see Will Smith like presenting something, where he just kind of, he does this thing like, here you go, this is what you want to do. I don't know if you've seen that meme, but they put it next. The question was, instead of taking Max, who else could have been the fourth pillar? And then Will Smith is there, and of course he's presenting the fucking jock. You know what I mean? It's like, why didn't you just take his ass? He obviously is troubled somewhere. You know what I mean?
Oh no! Don't take the jock.
Take him.
Take
him. He's already dead anyway. So
yeah, it's true. The funny thing is that you posted a poll of like, okay, guys,
I'm glad you mentioned it, because I had literally have it on my screen right here.
Who's gonna be the one that dies? And people are like, oh, Steve Harris is gonna be, he's gonna buy it. It's like no one, fucking no one picked Maxine.
No one picked Maxine. No. So here's the zeros.
We weren't expecting that. She's like, these are characters that came out recently. Came out recently. It kind of changed the vibe of the show a little bit, and we learned to like. If you're gonna take a meaningful death, it's probably gonna be, one of the main cast, right? It's probably like it's not gonna be fucking David Harbour. What's his character?
Hopper.
It's not gonna be Hopper, because we already saw Hopper's dead.
Correct. Yeah, you don't want to retread ground. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I saw people saying like, oh, it's probably gonna be Joyce Byers. I'm like, Joyce Byers? Like, why would they? Like,
why would anybody? Yeah. So real quick, let me get the poll results here. No one voted for these 11: Max, Lucas, Erica, Dustin, and Argyle. They got 0 votes, so nobody believed it.
Yeah,
they're like, no. And then 5%. These are tied for 5%. Tied for 5%. Nancy Wheeler, Will Byers, Mike Wheeler, and Robin Buckley. Damn, guys, that's messed up. 11% Joyce. I don't know why.
I don't know. Exactly. Like, what?
16% had Eddie Munson, and another 16% had Jonathan Byers. So that's interesting. And then, of course, the number one was 33% at Steve Harrington.
Steve Harrington, for some reason, people, I don't know if they wanted him out or they thought, well, he's so charismatic.
Yeah, it was going to be a hero's death. Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to. But Matt, props to the people that saw it, saw the writing on the wall for Eddie Munson because it was, he got introduced late, or he was introduced in this season, actually. You kind of have to remember that he was in that same season.
Yeah, that stupid breaking it up in two. Yeah.
Suddenly, like, he became, like, he grew. Like, we felt for him really quick. Like, we were like right
Dude,
there. Like, this guy is
macking
awesome.
on what was her name? Christy, right? He was macking on Christy. I was like, when he first like two different people, right? She's the cheerleader with the jock, and here he is, the freak. And not only was he being charming, you know what I mean? She was. You can tell. It's like, oh man. Oh shit! This is about to steal the jock's girlfriend. Look at this. You know what I mean? Just for being himself.
Character.
You know what I mean? And I was just, that was the best part. I was like, just for being himself. And how much he treasured that in Dustin as well. Never changed. He tells me, and I was just like, that was to me, it was probably one of the more touching moments. And also to me was like, oh, se jodió este. He's gone. I know it now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wasn't sure.
Steve Harrison, the moment you see them, like, oh, I guess there's the bromance is now between Eddie Munson and
Dustin, yeah.
Dustin, but no, I guess that's the writing on the wall.
That was the writing. Oh, dude, that was the right. As soon as I saw, I was like,
yeah,
oh, bro, God, you're nailing your own coffin here, aren't you?
Yeah. It was too obvious. It's funny. It's funny how we still don't give a fuck about Jonathan Byers, even though he is, he was.
But he wants to stop. I feel like he also wants to. I feel like he also wants to call it quits because he doesn't.
He destroyed that. I mean, they destroyed his character on this season. They just made him into, like, okay, I guess I don't know what it was, but it wasn't working. The chemistry with Nancy Wheeler wasn't working for the writers or whatnot. I was okay with it, but no, we had to put, the Nancy Steve. We need to bring that back because that's, like, I guess, the Ross and Rachel of
I think so. Yeah, I think people loved when they got together at the end of season 1, and then through season 2 they were still kind of together for the most part. And I think at the end of that is when it all
season 3 is when it destroyed. They made him into a completely different character. Like, he was as crazy as fucking Argyle.
Yeah,
pretty much. Sure, let's go for that, I guess. And of course we have Nancy Wheeler, a character that I couldn't really care less, and that I was like, yep, she probably should be the one that bites it.
I thought so too, because of the thing with Barb.
Be okay with it.
Hello, justice for Barb. We're still waiting for that. That would have been justice for Barb.
Yes, exactly.
Her, yeah.
True. And and instead, what they give us is very intelligently scene where she is trying to take the boards of a
block door that opens the other way. Yeah,
the door itself was not a pull. Yeah, you can just, hey, Nancy, just push the door. You can just walk over the boards. Just hilarious. Push it. It's a push door.
Hilarious.
I
didn't see it when it first happened. Like, I didn't notice it when it first happened. It wasn't until after. It was like,
I even told my wife about it. She's like, no. It was hilarious. It was hilarious, especially because even though it was before it actually happened, it kind of felt like, I'm like, that door doesn't have a handle, or I didn't notice a handle on it, so that must mean it's a push. Yeah. And I was like, they're not gonna do that. That'll be silly. There must be something like, oh no, actually, there she is. She took the board and she is pushing the door. All right.
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous.
It is. Yeah.
So, question on season 5, sir. Are we in agreement, or do you also concur? Because I do, that obviously poor Will, who has been tortured in season 1 and season 2, it's coming all back to him again.
We need to bring it back to him. There's still so loose ends with him, but I will tell you what, though, I'm not really ready to discuss a lot of season 5 because I honestly learned that season 5 was actually getting made right after we were done with season 4. To me, season 4 was, oh shit, this is how they decided to end it.
Oh,
and
no,
it
yeah.
doesn't end in a good note. If anything, it ends in a pretty dire situation, like
Mhm.
really bad. And I thought that was gonna be it, and I was like, well, shit. But props to the writers for actually embracing the bad ending of the game.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
they're just going.
This is their
If this is their
Infinity
end,
War.
if this is the end, then I am very okay with it. 11 lost. It was not about it. Like the story got told, and Hawkins went to shit, and it became an apocalyptic nightmare. The end should have closed there. I would have been completely pleased, with the exception of what they did to Maxine, poor Maxine. But that's fine
Justice
because her pain will be over, because everything will be over. Except that not, you're right, because we have to have a season 5. And
Well, it's not that they have to have a season 5. They have to have an
a
ending.
season 5.
It's because they have to have an ending. We need an ending.
This was
They're
the
not going to leave it like that. This is
It was the ending. This
this
wrapped
is-
up everything that I cared to know about. Like Dave again, fucking David Harbour. What's his character name again, please?
Hopper.
Hopper, thank you. Hopper got back, he got rescued from Russia, together with Joyce. Everybody had it seems like everything wrapped up in the way that, in the best way they could have wrapped up for
except for the fact that
season,
Hawkins is on fire right now with what looks
which is
like hell.
fine. I would have been okay with that ending. I would have been like,
That's
oh shit, so
not
it's
the
one of
show.
those.
Yeah.
Especially you're one of the ones where you speak about
I would, I
not
would
everything needs
definitely-
to have a happy ending, and this
Absolutely.
is
But
yeah,
I had
and
I had no illusions as to what this show was. And I was like, that's why I was like, this is not going to end this way. I was going to say, this is the Infinity War. This is the snap. This is the snap. Now we're going to jump 5 years and have our end game next season. That's what this is.
See, and that's what happened, because I didn't think that end game was better than Infinity War, to be honest. I mean, it was in the sense that it was more action and more cool or whatever. But I was okay with the ending of it, even though this one I fucking knew 100%.
I was gonna say,
it's a Disney
perfect.
property. It's not gonna end like that. I was fine, but this being Netflix and this being Stranger Things, and what a strange way would have been to end it into this apocalyptic thing where it doesn't matter after we have this happy thing with the kids and everything and all the craziness, like, oh shit, it's going to have a dark ending. 11 lost and Vecna won. How screwed up is that? That is very bold. That is very going out there.
It is extremely. And honestly, if they never, just the same way I said when we saw Infinity War, it's like if they never actually continue from here, it's great. This is a wonderful ending. But first off, I already knew there was going to be another season.
I did not. Once you told me, it kind of deflated so much of my excitement on how this wrapped up, because I don't see how they can top this season. And I'll tell you what I mean.
You're right. It's going to be it, and we all know this. We've seen this many a times where you put people into the most difficult situation, and that's I don't want to say it's the easy part, but it's definitely the most compelling part. And then taking them out of that most difficult situation, success there is not always great, right? And that's usually with a lot of films, right? Act 1 and Act 2 are like, oh shit, well, Act 3, we're at a 30 to 40% success rate sometimes. You know what I mean? Having a good Act 3. This is the Act 3. It's like, okay, how are we going to get out of this? Now, according to the Duffer Brothers, this has already been written out. So they, it obviously they'll expand and adjust as they go, but it's been written out for some time. They only wanted to do between 4 to 5 seasons to begin with. So that has me with some level of confidence going, okay, well, clearly you had this shit laid out. You know what I mean? And hopefully, and on top of that, also Netflix, they're also doing other projects for Netflix. So it really makes you, okay, they're not going to extend it past this because they have other shit in the works.
Right.
But you're right. The potential of fucking up is higher than it is than outdoing this. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, if
you're
if
absolutely
if it feels like it's gonna be some artificial, bullshit way that they're gonna try to make it. Again, I can't think of better ways of wrapping it up if that's their intention than what they deliver us so far. That is not something completely expected. Like right now, like it doesn't matter who dies because it's kind of expected that someone's gonna go. Obviously, and 11 being the hero. Obviously, they were not happy with living in here, so it's gonna, it's gonna wrap up nicely. It's gonna wrap up in a nice bow at the end, and it's gonna it takes away the like. There's no stakes. Is what I'm trying to say. If it doesn't feel like there's gonna be any stake, even though the stakes look like it, like there could be, it couldn't be any higher with Hall Hawkins being done to shit and with Maxine having a worse thing than death, and or not Vecna, but whatever is the actual spider monster thing that that we see.
Well, he created it. He created that particular spider monster thing. Is that I don't know how he did, but he basically molded it out of that whatever. So that's still an extension of him. He is the ultimate bad guy, essentially. We have now been introduced to the ultimate bad guy.
This
got
this
away.
Feels like this feels like the God of War Ascension that we didn't need.
I still think that I had no illusions that they were going to have this. It would have been cool if they would have made that choice. Sure, absolutely. You know me, I'd be down.
The
for
show
that,
is called Strange Thing, not Expected Things.
Yes, but it also is I don't know, not parody, but it's definitely harkens back to many 80 properties that, guess what, have a happy ending. So, or at least an ending, not a bad ending, I should say. Right. And so, so I agree with you. I if they would have chose that, it would have been Super Bowl and I would have been so in. But I didn't have any illusions that they were going to figure it out. But I do say that just speaking what we're speaking now, imagine our opinions of season 5 if Max didn't make it. We would be like, oh shit, now all shit can break loose for all we know. They didn't have to have a whole red wedding to have 3 or 4 people killed off. Just the one. A meaningful one would have just been like, oh, I can't believe. And then my hate for Vecna and the fucking jock would have been through the roof. Yeah. And I'm like, that fucker needs to burn next season. And I need to see it. And I need to be there so I can bring out some marshmallows and roast it on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would have been my opinion. But
I'm just worried that like how many seasons are gonna be? How many episodes are gonna be next season? 2.
It's not gonna.
Honestly, this seems to be a very specific mission, and like deviated from that just to extend it through 8 more shows.
It's not gonna. They did say that was something of the interviewer. The Duffer Brothers said in an interview that it's not going to be. It's not going to be as long. Episodes aren't going to be as long. It's not going to be as long as that. And to be fair, every season has been about 8 or 9 episodes. So it's always been the same. It's just the length of the episodes have fluctuated or haven't fluctuated. Actually, this season they fluctuated. Every other season has been
doesn't this feel like, and especially in the way that they divided it and all that, like this was going to be the ending? It just makes me think that Netflix just had they say, like, they will say that, of course they will say, oh no, this the plans have been laid out, just like fucking George Lucas say, oh yeah, we had season all the way to season to episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 7, 8, 9 also written already, and this is the and Disney tried to say, oh, this is the Skywalker saga, this is the way it was meant to be, even though that's bullshit, and it almost feel like they have to say that, but in reality it's all about the money.
I agree. I agree. And chances are, I mean, who knows? Who knows what we'll get.
6.
I honestly, no, because they already mentioned they're going to do spinoffs. This is the, how do I say?
Can't trust them anymore. You don't understand. I can't trust them anymore.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. It's first off, they have said from the beginning 4 to 5 seasons all they want to do from season 1. The moment season 1 came out,
Mm.
we have a plan. We only look to do 4 to 5 seasons. That's it.
Mm.
How do when something takes off? This is very Breaking Bad, by the way. When something takes off, what does the producer want? Well, they want more episodes because more episodes get people watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep them here. So the what do you call it? The not constellation, but the agreement ends up happening as like, well, because they're so protective. The creators are generally protective of the property and saying, okay, sure, we'll make more, but it'll have to be some sort of spinoff. Hence, Breaking Bad spun off.
Mhm.
What was that? That was Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul,
Because
yeah.
Breaking Bad, the developers, the creators there were in constant war with AMC
Yeah.
because they just like, no, this is what we want. We don't want to go further than this.
Yes.
And so at some point, that's when Better Call Saul came. And so that's most likely what's going to happen here because they've already said there's going to be a spinoff, which I'm probably not going to care about. But yeah, so that's
it's fine if they want to see it. I'm just gonna treat it as DLC. Like this is optional. That's having this.
Exactly.
This is
You
gonna
don't
be,
need this
you
to
know.
enjoy this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why not? Why not? Bring it on. All right.
All right. We're cutting out of spoilers now, and we're back. We're back. I have like a massive thing to mark, like a 30-minute thing where it's like all spoilers here.
Well, we kind of like at one point I was wondering like, shit, is this gonna be the hot topic? Because we had it for like what we saw so far.
We did, yeah. But I also didn't want to, and I wasn't sure because I did kind of want to go because I think we were kind of talking about the other stuff too. So I was like, I kind of want both, but we'll just make. That's why I was like, you know what? We'll just make it a spoiler bumper and people could skip over. They want to.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. The other thing I watched through completion was Moon Knight.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So,
all right.
Yes.
So now that you got the two, you were at you finished episode 4 last time, so you got the.
I was missing the last one.
Oh,
yeah, I was missing the one that explained the weird way that the previous one.
Hippo, yes.
Yeah. The one that explained the hippo, and and I was let me tell you that I was enjoying the whole show until it got to that, and once it got to that, and once it got to that, I got very worried very fast. I didn't know if the show was gonna continue delivering what I have liked about it so far, and I gotta be careful how I speak. I'm not gonna say anything that will actually. I'm not even gonna explain what hippo means. I'm just gonna say that I got to the part and I got very, very worried, and even the entirety of so I was 2 episodes away actually, from finishing it. I kind of didn't care for it, but it is necessary. It was a necessary episode because
Which one? Which one? The last 2.
The one the previous to last.
Oh, gotcha. The penultimate. Yes.
Yes, the penultimate. It needed. There's a lot of things that it kind of needed an explanation. Well, maybe needed is a strong word, but it was nice to have an explanation on. Even though it also left you with some questions, and I'm okay with that, because then we have the last episode, and the last episode, the last episode, I kind of got pissed, and then I was very okay with it. I can't speak. We're gonna talk about it off air about what I mean by that. And the reason I'm being very coy is because the guys, I want you guys to watch this series. This series,
it's a lot of fun, isn't
it? It's my in it. You're not speaking like Steve. This series is my favorite of the Disney anythings that they have thrown together in Disney Plus so far. I did not expect it. and it's always great to have that discovery. Like
Mhm.
this is a good series. This is a fun series. This is actually a character that I think he works perfectly on the schema of the series of a series. I don't necessarily think this would have. I mean, it wouldn't have landed. It wouldn't have been as endearing if it would have been a whole like a feature film. And also, it was probably gonna be like, oh, who's
Yeah.
this hero?
It
Because it's
wouldn't have that
not
much
super
going on.
known. But now that he's established, and we're gonna talk about faces and all that, like I wouldn't mind him making an appearance, because he like I respect the character that was built here, and I like the lore
Mhm.
also. I like the origins and the whole thing with these are Egyptian gods, and of course we're gonna explain it in the pain in the pain of this is the hierarchy of God. The Egyptian gods, I guess, they coexist along with the other many gods of this world, where we have obviously the Asgardians, and we have the fucking everything cosmic and shit. Let's just wrap it up. Let's just say everything that's cosmic and shit.
I mean,
and of course, everything takes. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we've gone through, the Roman gods. We've gone through, the Greek gods.
Yes.
All these other pantheons.
All these entities that exist.
It's like, oh man, it's about time the Egyptians. Although I'm sure there are other, but within the Marvel universe, within the MCU,
Yes.
it's like it's about time they get a little something going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm also okay with they didn't really felt the need to explain or even mention anything about the occurrence. Obviously, the blip. They didn't need to bring that up. It almost felt like its own contained universe. Almost, even though you had you have what do you call those Easter eggs? That little hints.
I was gonna say the spoiler, but it's not a spoiler. What the hell is it called? The stinger.
Yes. Yeah. I liked all that. I was very pleased with this show. My wife liked it a lot also. We both think that Oscar Isaac did a fantastic job with that.
Yeah,
with that character. It's also an interesting, very odd take on what could be considered mental illness, to be honest with you. There is.
That's exactly what it is. It's it was multiple personality, but it calls something else. The real name is called something else, but commonly known as multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is.
Yeah,
and interesting take. And well, this will probably be sort of spoilers, because in the sites, no, I'm not gonna say it.
It's very easy to. It does have some cool revelation. Guys, watch it. Definitely don't miss it just because it's a character that you don't know. I didn't even know.
As a matter of fact, it's a plus that you don't know them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and all the marketing, all you see is like the obviously the Moon Knight. I didn't know that it was being played by Oscar Isaac, and once I saw him, I was like, oh, really? Okay, all right. So this is how it's gonna be. Okay, and but then his character or characters, it brings something new. It's definitely interesting. I like it. This series is a solid 4.0, even though I think that's what I might have scored.
Started off with.
No, what I was going to say, I might have scored WandaVision also, that because I like WandaVision because
that was good, yeah.
That was good, but I think this one tops it. easily. Like this is my favorite.
Not every
by
4.0
far.
is equal. I hear you.
No, exactly. No, it's far because, and it's hard because I want to give it a 4.5. It's just I need to see more, and then there needs to be more, and almost the length of this almost felt almost experimental. Like let's see how it attracts, and let's before
What do
we
you
start
mean? 6
preparing
episodes?
the second season, huh? 6
What?
episodes, yeah.
Oh, that's if you really look at all the other ones, that's what they've been. Falcon and
That's
Winter Soldier
true,
was
yeah.
6 episodes.
Yes, so yeah.
You
Well,
didn't
they're all
see-
experiments when you think about it.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah, true.
Yeah. I don't know. I was saddened by when it was over. I was like, oh man, I kind of wanted more.
That's the feeling you want, though. You don't want to
Yes.
go, oh, thank God this is over. You know what I mean? It's like, no, keep me on the other side of that line. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm all right with that.
Real quick, because we've taken too much time. About half of it was talking about Stranger Things, so
Stranger Things?
don't blame me. I watched a movie called The Marksman.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
That was my wife's pick.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
And, yeah, it's a movie with Liam Neeson. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's not great. It's not.
That's
It's not.
hilarious.
It's not. It's not that it's not a bad movie. It is just
A regular movie.
it's a
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Yeah, it is a very by the book kind of formulaic, kind of expected, movie that you will rent. And even though Liam Neeson's performance was he was really good on it, but of course,
It's Liam
it,
Neeson, yeah. Sir
yeah,
Liam
yeah, yeah.
Neeson? Maybe
He's-
sir. I don't know. I don't know if he's a sir. I don't know if
Is
he's
he a sir?
United, but I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Liam Neeson plays. He's basically,
he should be knighted,
uh,
that's for sure.
huh?
He should be knighted, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course. He plays he's like a rancher. And he used to be, he either used, like, I don't understand the relation here, but he either used to be Arizona Border Patrol, or he helped Arizona Border Patrol because of the fact that he was in the military. And he's living there. The thing is that he tends to see, when a lot of Mexicans are crossing the border, and he basically
So
help
it's
out.
politically charged, is what I'm hearing. Maybe not.
No, you would think, but no, like they don't dip that hard. The whole thing with the movie is that and this is actually in the trailer, and it's almost like too much to see in the trailers. Like, again, it's one of those trailers that spoil things, but you kind of see in the trailer how he ends up having to take care of this Mexican boy. As he is fleeing from cartel assassins.
Okay.
The moment my wife put the movie and I saw that it had to do with like fucking
cartel?
Mexican cartel, I was like, ooh, I don't know. Why don't we watch something a little bit more like family friendly, like Hereditary or or fucking Saw or something? Because I don't know if I can
Will be better
stomach.
than the cartel.
I don't know if I can stomach cartel movies in general, but they don't even lean into that much because it's a PG-13 movie. It's not a long movie.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like a hour and 48 minutes. Thank God it was a PG-13 movie because I don't need to see the
I know.
horribleness of the Mexican cartels.
That's just me.
really
On my-
fucking
on my-
scary to me.
On my end, I'm just like, really? Okay. You're like, no, I don't want it to go any further than that. Please, thank you.
No, I'm like, I'm okay with this because I don't want to see anything. I don't, because that's the thing. The horror of that is like fucking real. It's
Oh, yeah,
that
it is.
in horror stories they may present some gruesome fucking deaths, and you're like, oh well, of course this is all on the realm of like fucking demons
Quote,
and
unquote,
monsters
horror,
and
yeah.
shit. But like the things that happen in the Mexican cartel, this like that shit is real. That shit is happening, and that's the scary thing. That's the scary shit, that it is real. So
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to see. No, I'm okay. This movie is not that. It is. I mean, you can imagine how it goes and how predictable. And when it's not predictable, it's almost like, well, this is not predictable because no one fucking will do what you did, and that was a stupid choice. And like, no. So I'm gonna say this. Fuck. What's our scale?
I don't
need
know.
to-
What are you feeling? I can tell you what the number is.
Well, how do you think I'll score it? And I promise it
Based
won't-
on what you have told me, I feel like this is the 2.5. It's just mediocre.
This is a 2.5. Yes. Yes, this is actually. I'm glad that you can read my tone because I was not loving this movie, but I can call it a 2.0 because Liam Neeson is a good actor, and you will appreciate that. And who knows, you might watch this movie and and enjoy it for what it is. It's not. There's not gonna be like crazy revelations. It's not gonna blow your mind in any way whatsoever. It is extremely by the book. And we have seen this before many a times. It's just from a different perspective now. It's Border Patrol and Mexican kid needs to be taken care of and needs to be taken to their family. And, there's some bad guys pursuing and hilarity ensues. And we've all been there. So 2.5. Not going to say any more about that. The last movie that I watched was actually
For
Kick-Ass.
the record, real quick, Marksman sits currently at a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critical score. However, the audience score gave it an 83. So you're
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle there. As well.
Yes, exactly. This is not a great movie, but it was entertaining for what it was. And again, don't watch the trailer because it just shows too much. Even though too much. It's like, of what? The movie didn't have that much to deliver to begin with. So, but yes, like I mentioned, the last movie I saw was Kick-Ass.
Oh my God, the first Kick-Ass?
Yes, the first Kick-Ass.
Wow,
For some
really?
reason, I just wanted to. You know what it is? I realized.
Is this your first time?
No.
Okay,
I've seen this. I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie. I like this movie. I still don't like the microwave scene. Fuck that. I don't
I
want
must have blocked that shit out because I can't recall the microwave scene.
the.
Oh, right.
Yes.
The human microwave scene. Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. Nope. Skipping that. But the reason I picked it was to first I needed to clear my head of the fact I needed to come to terms with the fact that Michael Cera is not on this film.
Okay.
And
Oh,
for some reason,
you thought he was.
huh?
You thought he was.
Yes, I thought he
Okay.
was. I thought he was Kick-Ass.
You thought he was the main guy? Oh
Yes,
no!
for some reason.
No. Okay.
I've seen this movie. I've watched this movie, and for the life of me, I couldn't, because it's also like, yes, he has moments and it's kind of cool, but it's also a kind of silly, movie that I'm not sure if it requires a rewatch or anything like that. It's all right, it's, but for some reason, it always stuck in my head that this was Michael Cera playing Michael Cera, the character that we already know. It's always
That's
act kind of like
hilarious.
very similar. And no, it was not him at all, And it's good because I needed to remember that this character also doesn't act like Michael Cera. It was all in my head, It was all in my head. It was a little bit, I don't have to fucking talk about okay, gas in length.
Yeah.
Other than you guys have seen it. It's a great movie. It's fun and I think my wife also thought that it was something else because for the longest time I would tell her, "Honey, we should watch this again. She's like, oh no, I don't want to watch that. That, I don't want to watch it at all. It's like completely like, nope. And then so we sat down and watched it, and she was like, oh no, this is not the movie that I thought it was. And she enjoyed it. She liked it.
Okay.
And I've never seen the second one. And
Actually, neither have I.
and neither have you. I was going to ask you, but I almost kind of like, why is that? Is it
because it wasn't well received. Not that it was bad or anything like that, but I know it wasn't well received, and that happens, right? It's one of those things where you guys are trying to you caught lightning in a bottle with the first one, Kick-Ass, and now you're trying to redo it, and it feels forced sometimes. It feels like, and I haven't seen it because of that.
I am gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it because I watched this one recently, and I'm curious, but I also had, for some reason, I was never super excited about just going to watch the second one. Let's just say,
same here.
I haven't watched this one recently. Then sure, I'm sure it's gonna be a fun afternoon. Why not?
Comparison's sake, sir. For comparison's sake, let's because you know how I love to bring up
compare and contrast. Yes, you're definitely the master of that.
How I do, yeah. Well, I don't know, but master. 76% Rotten Tomatoes for the first Kick-Ass. So that's a certified fresh. Kick-Ass 2 is at a 32%.
Ooh.
So just so you know what you're getting into.
So this is basically what you're saying. This is
the audience is at 57. So
and the audience is at 50. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I don't need to. Maybe I don't need to run to.
There's just certain train crashes you don't need to witness.
What you're saying is this is Starship Troopers 2. Then that's what you're saying.
That's what I think. Yeah,
straight to video. Okay,
which is why I was like, no.
Yeah, no. I don't want to solidify my memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'll shut up now.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I fucking fill the air here with something. Since we're talking movies, we'll keep it on the movie front. I saw Other Than Stranger Things, which I really enjoyed, and if you were in the spoiler section, you understand. Anyway, saw 2 movies, and the first one is called Marry Me, and that's, of course, is a movie with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson and Maluma, because why the fuck not?
Because hey, he was either that or Bad Bunny.
I guess
pick your poison.
Well done, movie. By choosing that one. Yes. Anyway, this is first off, obviously it's a romantic comedy. It is Jennifer Lopez, who in the movie is this one of the top music stars of that particular world. Cat something, I can't remember her last name. Cat Valdez. And then Maluma plays this male superstar, musical artist called Bastion. His name is Bastion, and they're the best, and they're about to get married in front of everybody. It's like the event everybody wants to attend. It's a concert, but it's also going to be a wedding, all this stuff, whatever. They're going to get married.
We saw that on the trailer, which I think we might have even picked the trailer of the week when we saw it, when we had it.
Maybe. I know we watched it. I don't know if we picked it. I know we definitely watched
it. I was curious. I was actually I wanted to see how will go,
Yeah, it is actually. So that's the story, and
just sticking to it.
This is in the trailer, so it's not in a spoiler. Something happens, they don't get married. She perfuses her understanding of love, and then picks out this random dude in the audience.
Yes.
Also known as Owen Wilson, and says yes because he's holding on to a sign that says "Marry Me," which, by the way, is their song. Like they have a duet in the movie. Right. They call "Marry."
Yeah.
And by the way, this is also I'm sure selling albums left and right. This movie, because there's a lot of music in this that is like, okay, clearly there's a soundtrack you guys are also trying to move.
Yeah.
Anyway, she picks him. And they get married, and hilarity ensues, right? And so he is a math teacher, and like the one who he doesn't do internet. He still has a flip phone that has no touch screen. I mean, he's one of those guys, right? And she is all over the internet. And let me tell you that the actual levels of how an Instagram, how they use Instagram, how they use all this stuff just to get
Right,
people
yeah.
out. It's like at some point I just found it so disgusting. I was just like, oh my God, it's like it's not really a guy, and I already knew it wasn't real, but dear Lord, is
Right.
it like you could know? It's just, they keep pointing out how unreal most of the shit you're seeing on there is. Anyway, obviously they start falling for each other. Two random folks. He's a math teacher at some school, and she's the superstar, and it becomes a thing, and it's rather sweet. I'm not gonna lie. But it's also stuff I've seen before.
Right.
Not a huge
It
not a huge fan.
you're
of
watching this movie
J-Lo.
knowing what you're getting into.
Correct. Yeah. You know what you're gonna get. Not a huge fan of J-Lo. I think she's. I don't know. I think she's. I don't know. It's just not there anymore. I don't know. But overall, like I said, her acting is still pretty good. Owen Wilson's great. I think Owen Wilson is charming as normally he is in his films, and overall, it's a solid 3.0. I can't say it's bad.
Okay.
It lingers a little into the mediocre maybe, but there are some really touching moments, some really well done moments on top of that, and some commentary again on internet stardom, and all
Right.
that stuff, where I'm like, okay, I kind of like how this is pointing these things out, and maybe some people in the world will learn, maybe not, who knows. Anyway, so that is of course Marry Me. I did message you and said, dude, you probably want to watch this. You probably want to throw this on. It's on Prime, for the record. You don't have to pay
From
for it.
Prime? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was interested on watching. Actually, one of my interests from watching it was because I thought it was going to be like a good movie to watch with my wife. It's funny. I mentioned it to her the first time I saw it. Actually, I think it was when I was showing the trailer. She was like, like, well, fuck.
You got to make sure you add it to your list, sir.
Go watch Twilight again, then, and I'll
I know.
add to my
If you
list.
watch Twilight, then god damn it, you gotta like this. Jeez.
Oh
There's just
shit!
no-
I mean,
shit.
If it has, at least Twilight has shining vampires. If
Yes,
this movie
but here
doesn't
you have
deliver that,
Maluma.
then
You have Maluma being an ass.
oh, well,
And that's
10 out of
stellar,
10,
right? It's just anyway, and the movie also originally came out Valentine's Day because, of course,
because of course it's
Yeah.
that type of movie.
course,
It knew what it was
It knew.
going for. Yes,
exactly. Anyway, it was cool. And I think I heard my wife watching it again because I just heard from a distance. Like, okay, so she enjoyed it. Cool.
That's a certified,
It's a
certified
win
Joe.
right there, yeah,
Yes.
certified win. And the last one I saw is a movie called Limbo. And sit back,
Limbo.
relax, and enjoy this ride, ladies and gentlemen, because this is definitely a mad dog joint.
Oh, shit. So it is. So in other words, it's unwatchable. Okay.
You are definitely not going to enjoy this movie.
No, I
And
already know. You already gave me the warning.
so don't care.
No, this is
this
the
actually-
one where you're like, I don't care if you,
if you like it or not, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So it is.
Hi.
So the main crux of the story is it does brush upon like current events. Omar, the main character's name Omar, and he is a musician, used to live in Syria, and he is now a refugee from Syria. He ends up separated from his family, but sent to a Scottish island. So he's in Scotland.
You see what I'm telling you guys?
And,
you see?
And that's where he's awaiting to hopefully get his asylum request approved. Now this all sounds rather tragic and all that, but the funny thing is that the movie's actually kind of a comedy. It's one of these weird comedies.
Really?
It's a little bit comedic, and I can send you the trailer at one point. You're gonna see the trailer is probably a little bit more comedic than the actual movie, but there's a lot of humor in it.
Okay.
The reason it's called Limbo is because essentially that's where he is stuck. He is in this like think of the most barren plains and that's where he is. He's stuck in this little house. He gets sent to this little center. That's all he can do. He can go to the center, and the center is teaching him how to, little things that he can do when he becomes a member of Scottish society, all that stuff. And there's a bunch of people there. There's people from Ghana. There's people from Saudi Arabia. The one character that made me laugh is Farhad, which is the Saudi Arabian guy. He is he's been there he's like this lifer in the asylum. They can't get jobs because you're not a legal resident, so you're just living in limbo. Essentially, hence the name. You're living in this limbo, waiting for them to accept you or deny you, and then you just go back. It's one of those. That's the scenario you're in.
Oh wow!
Exactly. It's
gruesome.
It is, right? But at the same time, it's having fun with it. It feels the way that the movie is shot. It feels very Napoleon Dynamite. Almost.
Oh wow!
Which is again even more strange.
Not even expecting that.
Yes, exactly. So I had it on my list for a while. I was like, okay, I need to just pull the trigger on it. After last week's The Outfit, and I'm like, nailed it. We found a gem. I was like, I'm pulling the trigger on another one, and again, I found another gem. This is not very long. It's only an hour and 44 minutes. It does have some more serious elements. It has. There's one particular moment that I'm going to set up and spoil here. So spoilers, slight spoilers for a movie that most of you probably were not even fucking see anyway. But they're in this just random moment. You constantly see them. They're just stuck watching TV, whatever the TV's showing, and they're eating, and they always go back to the center, and there's these two Scottish people who are just teaching whatever. It's just a lot of back and forth, and you can see the TV on. It's just playing reruns or something like that. Then it cuts to two, because there's four of them in the same flat, essentially, or the same home. And one of them is from Guyana, the other one's from. These two are arguing, dude. They're in each other's face. You almost feel like they're about to stab each other. And his seems like dramatic. I was like, oh shit just got real. And he goes, and I'm not going to do the accent because I'm going to do a horrible accent, but to hear them argue in their native accents in English. Goes,
oh wow!
In English,
so that the audience can understand.
yeah, exactly, because it has their wonderful accent that they have. They are arguing, and the argument suddenly goes to, no, Ross and Rachel were on break, and when you're on break, dude, we about fell off the thing because they were watching reruns of Friends at some point.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and then a few more scenes happen, and then we come back, and these two are the main character and Farhad, which is the Saudi Arabian guy. They're just off to the side, just eating at a table, just watching these two argue, standing over each other, like they're about to go to fists, bro. Wow. It was hilarious. All right,
that was actually good. That's like
so funny. Yeah. So I. That's probably So anyway, it has weird moments like that. It's just oddities like that makes it funny. And again, it also has the serious moments because he is a Syrian refugee. He speaks to his parents every so often, and hearing where they're not in Syria anymore either. They're somewhere else, but their son decided to stay and fight. And that's kind of this thing where it's like, oh, we should have stayed. And of course, the main character, is like, no, what are you talking about? We're not fighters. This is what we do. His brother, I can't remember his name. He's like, he decided to do that because he wanted to be, he wanted to be the martyr. We don't want to do all that. So there's a lot of that happening in the background as well. And dude, this is just one of those special movies that I couldn't even tell you what genre this is. I couldn't even, I have no clue, but I dug it. I absolutely dug it. And so that is a movie called, I guess it is definitely a comedy drama is how I would probably put it. It has its comedic crama. Yeah, we'll call it a crama. Came out in 2020. I enjoyed it. I definitely give that one. I'm going to give that one 4.0. I think it was great. I think it was actually great.
Oh, nice.
Now it comes to gaming, real quick. I went back, so I stopped playing Death's Gambit. I don't know. It just lost me.
It did. Oh,
yeah, it just lost me. And I still haven't downloaded.
You were at the very end of the last boss.
I might have been. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But honestly, chances are, That's where I left it off at, and that's probably why I was done. I was like, okay, I'm
You're
done. Yeah.
it's at this point it's subconscious. It's you
Yeah,
can't help it.
it's-
It's like
exactly.
you
don't even know.
immediately lose interest because it's like I don't need to beat you.
Exactly. I didn't realize I'm doing.
You're
it
not
anymore.
good enough for an ending role.
An ending
credit
trophy.
roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I did buy a game called Far.
Oh, wait. What are you scoring it? I mean, obviously,
That's Gambit. Oh, I would probably give that one. Honestly, I think I give that one 3.5. I'm gonna give that 3 points. It was
okay.
really good.
It was
It was really
okay.
good. It's enjoyable. I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't play the original because, like I said, the original didn't have a map, and didn't have voice acting. This obviously was a step up for all that. So I'm glad this is the version I got.
Yeah.
Because I would have probably scored it much less without a map. Because
But even
how do you
didn't
have a
hold-
Metroidvania without a fucking map?
No,
That doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
no, that's
you know what I mean?
messed up.
Anyway, so I ended up buying recently, probably at the beginning of this year. Not the beginning of this year, when it came out earlier this year, Far Changing Tides, which is the sequel to a game called Far Lone Sails. Now, Far is Far FAR colon Changing Tides, and Far colon Lone Sails. So
Hmm.
I had bought the sequel to it, and I was like, man, I forgot what the other one was, and I remember it wasn't being long, so I re-downloaded Lone Sails and played it through from beginning to the end. It's only about 3 hours long, and this is just wonderful games. This is very Limbo or Inside, because you're constantly going
like
from
those.
left to right. The difference is that in the first Lone Sails, there's a little bit of a story. There's no voice acting. There's no nothing written. Nothing. It's just presented to you, and you kind of just figure out. Oh, okay. So there's somebody who, because you should see them above somebody's grave, or maybe it's a grave, maybe it's not. Who knows? And then this little character makes their way to their farm, and in their farm is this like big machine contraption that runs, and then you get in it, and you're just running across this barren landscape that looks like it's what do you call it, post-apocalyptic, like
Yeah.
waters have dried up.
I remember you talking about this game. I remember when you played it.
I did. I played it before. I played it in Beta before. Yeah.
Wait,
But I for some reason I decided to go.
beat it before.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This game it's sitting at an overwhelmingly positive on Steam reviews.
Oh, dude, it's good stuff. And the
Written
difference,
reviews.
the difference with
reviews
this and
all very positive.
with this and I was gonna say Limbo and Inside. The difference is, you're just a character in those things. Here, you are just a character, but you have to sort of manage this machine. You got to get this machine going. And it happens, it's, you can pick up fuel things that you can put into the machine. And it's weird because you have to hit this button here, and then its steam builds up. So you got to make sure it doesn't build up too much. You have to hit this button up here to release the steam, and you use more fuel, and you're running around the little thing just to get it going. And every so often, wind starts to pick up, and then you can let the machine turn off and go to the top and throw up the sails. And then it just glides across the plains, which is this wonderful one. And the music is excellent. It is. And it's, again, 3 hours. 3 hours, you're done. It's an excellent game.
I didn't know
So
they had
Changing
a
Tides,
sequel though.
yeah, it just came out this year. Changing Tides is the sequel. It's a little longer. I think it took me about maybe 5 hours. And instead of being a land machine, you're actually almost like a ship, like a sailboat. But it's mixed with a bunch of things. You end up having these little bits that you can pick up that actually, you work the engine as well. The engine's a little bit more, I don't say convoluted, but it's a little more bits to it. That you have to hit this, you got to move over here. Sometimes things overheat. You got to grab the hose, spray water on it, and then every so often, like I said, the winds pick up, and you jump, or you don't jump, but you work your way up to the top to throw up the sails, and you can let the engine turn off so that the sails just take you along the way. And again, you're just making it from left to right.
So it's the game, the management aspect of the ship, or are you on a quest?
It is there's no specific quest. You don't know what it is, and they are tied together. I didn't notice at first, but they are tied together. But the main gameplay is to get the thing going, get moving it from left to right, and then sometimes you run into a thing, and even the first one, both have this, where you get to a certain point and you have to get out of the ship, so you can figure out a puzzle that'll let your ship or land machine get
Mhm.
by, and sometimes it's figuring out how to lower this bridge, sometimes it's how do I get around this whatever. It's
Uh,
completely side scrolling, so there's no three-dimensional whatever. You're always going left, from left to right. So it's just figuring out how to move whatever's in front of you out of the way, or how to
are
get
there
it around it.
are there fail aspects of it? Like, do
There are
you?
no fail aspects. It's just really puzzles. The only fail would be if you never actually understand how to get around it. They're not really hard puzzles. Some of them can be a
Uh-huh.
little bit, especially in Changing Tides. Changing Tides really opens it up. Now, because you're in the water, your character can actually swim and swim off to different locations
Mhm.
and all this stuff. And the ship itself eventually gets a sort of a thing where you can actually go become a submersible. And now that becomes part of the puzzles and stuff like that. And
Mm.
it's a little more complex for Changing Tides, a little bit to its detriment, because one of the coolest aspects of Lone Sails was when you got that burst of wind, you can let everything turn off, sit on top of the machine, and just let it coast, and then you just enjoy the visuals, which are
Mhm.
really really well done visuals.
Yeah, they look
Uh,
really nice. Yeah.
yeah, and you could just sit back and enjoy the visuals, and the music will suddenly start to swell, and you're like, oh, this is good stuff, and you relax. And of course, at some point, either the wind dies down and you have to get back to working on it, or you reach something in the path that you have to kind of figure out. In the one with Changing Tides,
Mhm.
there was never really a moment of relaxation, because now the sails on Changing Tides, you control where the sails pointed. So you're always managing. There's no moment to
Oh,
just
okay.
sit and relax. You know what I mean?
Right.
There, even when you're inside the thing, using the engine itself, you always have to put fuel in. You're keeping an eye on the gauge. You're going over here. You're spraying
Mhm.
the engine down if it's getting too hot. You got to put more fuel. So you're still moving on the inside. So that's, I think, the only real complaint. It's still a really good game. Um, a little longer, and not
Mhm.
always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like, I don't want to say I got a little long in the tooth, but it was about, like I said, 5.5 hours when I finally beat it. I was like, oh my God, that's, that compared to Lone Sales. But I
Yeah.
guess it depends on everybody, right? Most people want more in their game, so maybe they'll be cool with that.
Yeah,
But
it
for me, I
feels
feel
like,
like
hey.
Lone Sales was the perfect length, the
Uh-huh.
perfect delivery. The music in Changing Tides also wasn't as good as the first one. It wasn't bad at all. I'm not saying that. It's just the first one really had some really good, just good musical tones, especially when you hit those moments where the sail goes up and now you're just letting it ride.
Yeah.
But this was really cool. I'm glad I played the first one again. First off, and I'm glad I went through this. And it's just, this is, me. This is my jam. This is the shit that I love. This is the type of
Well,
thing where
this
I'm
this
like,
one looks
games.
interesting enough that I'm putting it on wish list for the next sale.
Okay. Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it's it's
I definitely recommend Lowe's. I recommend both, for the record. This one I would
well,
say
I'll get yeah, the Far Universe bundle as is described here on
are you
Steam.
serious? Oh wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's on everything. It's on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's on Epic Games too. So those two games took up most of my week. I ended up jumping into, after that, Persona 5 Strikers, sir.
Really? Something tells me that
Oh,
this is just gonna be dabbling a little bit on it for some reason.
yes, but maybe not the reason you think, sir.
Okay.
I First off, I was enjoying getting back with the character. It made me feel
Yeah.
like, you know what? I really did love my time with Persona 5. I
Yeah.
really loved my moments with these characters. I think it's all the same voice actors.
Oh, it should be. It
It
better
should be,
be.
but I think it's either they sound a little bit different and not doing the same thing, or maybe they did that on purpose because this is supposed to be a little bit later. Some of
Mhm.
the characters are in college. You can probably guess which ones I'm talking about, because
Yeah.
just
Right.
based on the first, second, and third year and all that bullshit.
Right. Right.
Um, so that happened. Looks like they haven't seen each other in a while, so we're kind of getting together during the summer vacation, and then of course the inciting incident
everything's
happens. Yeah.
yes.
And so the difference here is, well, from what I gathered, they're not. I forgot what they're called in the first one, but they're called jails here. And obviously, first off, this is also played out in a very Muso type of
Oh yeah, that's
action
the type
gameplay.
of game it is.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of dug it. I was like, okay, there's a
Yeah.
little bit of depth. There's you can call the personas, you can switch over to other characters, you can do all these little things. Like, oh, it feels good. You can have up to 4 of your characters at a time. Your whole this is the other thing. Your whole party's together, which is great at the very
Mhm.
beginning because we all know each other at this point. And obviously, there's a couple new here and stuff like that, and it's cool seeing the characters going on. I was a little frustrated at first with all the free, like it reminded me so fast about all the fucking tutorials. It's like, dear Lord, just let me fight. Stop pausing it to give me a new tutorial. Now, granted, they're only like
Oh.
1 to 3 screens, but still, it's this anchor that drops in the middle of the action, and it's like this is even more abrupt and annoying because this is an action game
This
as
is
opposed
action,
to
right.
yeah, so it really hit me in the face. I'm like, you need to stop. And it introduces systems. We're back with making new personas and all this other stuff that you can do before. You go to the developer room. The developer room is only one character now at this point. I don't know if the other guy ever comes back. It's not one of the 2 girls either. It's somebody new. Anyway, all that was actually working. I liked where the story was going. It felt like this warm sensation, like, yes, I'm back with these characters. This is awesome, whatever. And then I realized, now, hear me out, developers. Okay. We are now in the year of our Lord 2022. And at this point in time, there should be no reason, none. I don't care what type of genre game you're making here. There should be no reason for not having autosaves.
Oh
there should be no
no!
reason whatsoever.
Oh no! They fail in the most basic aspect of it.
I got probably a good 5 to 6 hours in, and maybe a little more than that. And moving the story laws. Another aspect is, if you leave the jail, it doesn't move time forward anymore. Like, once you're in the jail, you're always, and you can leave the jail at any point. It resets everything, and you just go whatever. But it's not moving the days. There's still a calendar, but it doesn't. There's no perceived time limit. You know what I mean? So, which is good, personally.
So
thank God that you don't have to do
jails
that.
being the worlds where you are fighting.
Well, you're fighting, the dungeons,
right?
Essentially,
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because the other part will be as opposed to the real world, quote unquote, which will be like the Tokyo or whatever city this is taking into effect. Like normal life, quote unquote, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you do visit everything. You go back to LeBlanc. You see Sojiro. You all the characters. Everybody's back. Which is, again, it was one of those. I was smiling throughout the whole thing. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is awesome. It's a little truncated in certain things that you don't go into the shops anymore. You go to the shops to do stuff, but it doesn't actually show you going to the shop. It just goes to a menu. Right. Like, okay, it is what it is, Anyway, got pretty far into the dungeon, decided to back out and leave. And no, I died. That's what it was. I died in the dungeon, and then it reloaded me to a checkpoint, right? I was like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's late, whatever. And I back out and I'm out. And then I go back and I realize, so there goes 3.5 hours of progress that I made into, like, basically I hadn't even been to the dungeon yet when I got to, and I'm looking everywhere and I'm like, are you kidding me? How the fuck it's one of those things, like, I get it. I do have save files because I'm making save files, but I'm like, you even reloaded me back to a checkpoint. Where the fuck is that checkpoint? Why am I starting from there? I don't understand. Dude, I said no. No. I'm sorry. No. This is exactly what happened, by the way, with Ritual of the Night. Is it Ritual of the Night?
Bloodthing?
Yeah, same thing happened there.
But Bloodthing, you retain. Oh, I don't remember, actually.
No,
you retain your progression or nothing?
And I was just like, no, I am not. I started to. Don't get me wrong. I was pissed because
Uh-huh.
so credit to the game, so credit to the story where it was. I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. I'm actually liking the gameplay. I'm like, I've never played a Musou game, and I'm like, this is Musou-ish. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, kind of mindless.
we'll give
Yeah.
it, we'll give it a shot here, and it was fun. It was fun. It's a lot of there's a little strategy behind it. And I'm like, okay, I can do little things here, whatever, and I started to retread through it, and it's just the moment I like started doing some of the I was so far back. I hadn't even been to the dungeon. Like that's how far
Wow.
back it was, and I had read where I had left off. I was already most way through the dungeon. You know what I mean? At this
But
point,
it is so okay. So is it that the game expect you to manually save?
manually
Is
save
that
at all times. Yes, at all times.
fucking hell?
And
Wow.
don't get me wrong. There was a time where I get it. Yes, this is what this you have to do this, right? This is a normal thing.
Yeah,
We're
on
past that.
Nintendo maybe.
We're so
On
past that at this point that it's like this doesn't make sense that because I didn't manually say you can't even reload that checkpoint that I was at. Where is that save? How did that
oh,
go
you
away?
shouldn't. You shouldn't be losing hours of progression just because you forgot because you never instruct. Like there are games. Let me tell you.
That's the other thing, right? If you're gonna tell me, look, if this is what you're doing and you want to do it because this is your jam, all right, fine. Let someone know. Let someone know, hey, this does not auto save. Make sure you're saving.
Right.
Okay, I got it. If I miss after that point, that's my fault. I can't blame any of us by myself. But no, it didn't mention it.
That's-
I know
that-
because
that's-
I read through God knows how many fucking tutorials, and it never mentioned about fucking make sure you're saving.
dying or
And-
making you. I remember. I was say Nier Automata. Nier Automata, like it tells, like it warns you, like this doesn't autosave. So and it was kind of like, okay, well that's archaic, but I appreciate the fact that you tell me.
At least, yeah. So yeah, honestly, that's
Wow.
what they did, and I was so pissed
Oh,
off. I was like, no,
shit, damn.
like I said, I tried to, just do it again, but it wasn't until I just really realized where I was at and realized, wow, I've done a lot already, and I'm fast forwarding through fucking cutscenes at this point because I'm just like, I
Mhm.
just need to get to the dungeon. I'm just like, oh dear Lord, I haven't even been here yet. I have not even been here yet. You have
Wow.
got to be kidding me. So yeah, it did it
Wow.
in. It did itself in at that point. I was like,
I
I'm
can't blame you. At that point, I really would have liked to see how far you got, with this one, considering that this is, I'm sure this is a shorter type of game. This is not Persona levels of 5 or Persona 5 overstayed its welcome, unfortunately, because it was fun and I do want to go back, but I don't want to restart it again. If I go back, I'm gonna pick up for whatever the hell I'm at. But oh shit, man, that's
I
that is-
out of curiosity, I was like, maybe I missed it. You start blaming yourself
mm,
because again, I was having fun. I was enjoying it,
Yeah.
and more than anything else, I love the fact that I was back with these characters and we were kind of doing the same old thing. Ryuji with his silliness, and by the
Yeah.
way, apparently he got a fucking trucker's mouth or a sailor's mouth because this dude's cursing off left and right. I'm like,
Oh,
damn,
that's
bro.
nice.
It's like, okay, all right.
I mean,
well, I
he
guess
was
you're
throwing
older
his,
now. Yeah.
his shit every now and then here, but
Dude, I've been. He's several shits upon shits. In just a few hours that I was with it, and I was like, damn. Man. I was like, all right, man, I got you, bro. You want to be badass? I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so no, anyway, I looked it up and I was like, it was just me. It's just someone else. And like, no, there's some some Reddit posts, some people pissed out there just going, how the hell does it Persona 5 Strikers not have any autosave?
Well, I know what the hell.
Oh, thank God! It wasn't. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just
No.
me. But I just like I could, and like I said, same thing happened to me in the other game. And I was just like, and to be fair, in the other game, it
What's
didn't
that?
happen. It wasn't like hours of progress. It was probably 40 minutes or something like that. The problem was that it happened more than once, and it was really in that case, it was really more me, but. It was frustrating me.
But I mean, this game at least is trying to be Symphony of the Night, though, which you had to do in
True,
Symphony of the
yeah,
Night. So
true.
it was more to the expectation of that type of game it was.
True,
even though it
yeah.
still wasn't. I wouldn't justify it fully, but I could understand, but fucking Persona 5 should have had auto save, especially for the type of game it was trying to be.
So yeah, I didn't make it. Can't give it a grade. Only can say that I was enjoying it, and maybe I'll go back to it. To be fair, I didn't pay for it. I was going to, and I think I would have been probably even more pissed off if I did. I was going to pay for it, and then it suddenly, like, one of the months came through on PlayStation Plus. Like, oh shit! All right, well shit, I'll pay for it now.
I don't remember if I grabbed it or not. I would be pissed off if I didn't, but whatever. Everything's going to Game Pass anyway. So. Tag him and bag him.
Even if you never download it, just tag it. Who gives a shit? You never know. For some reason, you want to go back to something. Imagine, look at the dwarf one that we enjoyed so much. So just tag it, play it with me, and we enjoy the shit out of that before Elden Ring. Yeah. But that's why I tag them all. And even the ones I don't know, I'm just like, the ones I do know, and I'm like, I'm never gonna fuck like a racing game. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not gonna do it. I know me. But anything else I don't know, I'm like, tag it. I won't have to download it, but if it suddenly comes out and like, or some weird update,
why did they release a patch and fix it?
Exactly. It's like, oh shit. Well, I actually had the game. How about that? So yeah, I did that. That's how I got Strikers, but yeah, that was very disappointing.
That's a shame.
And I tried, bro. I gave my fucking hardest try. It's like, let me just do it again. And it wasn't that. That's when I said, no, this wasn't a little bit. This was hours of progress gone. And it's like, you have got to be kidding me. And I just nope. I went to sleep really pissed off that day because I was like, that was a night. I was like, I'll spend some more time with it. That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And I ended up not doing it. I just turned it off and just fucking watched YouTube and so fucked it because I was like, I that was what I wanted to do. I had like an hour and a half to probably finish off the dungeon and move on to the story. And no, apparently I never even touched the dungeon.
Oh shit! Wow.
So I hate to leave it on that note, ladies and gents, but that is all that we've been doing. Anyway, welcome back, guys. We are now in our second segment, of course. And, of course, it is now time for our trailer of the week.
Whoop, whoop.
Nice.
Wait, did we decide which trailer we wanted, though?
I think it's a split, sir, so we might as well just...
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I mean, to be fair, I do. You know what? I can make the other because I do like the other one as well. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say, you know what? I don't think it matters because neither one of them seem to be like a battle that we want to, that we're gonna go die for.
Oh yeah. There's no hills that we want to.
No.
On this,
it was like, hey, this looks interesting. Oh well, this looks interesting.
Yeah.
Also, so
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
The two in question, ladies and gentlemen, is first off from 20th Century Studios, Amsterdam, which stars. Dear Lord, everyone.
Oh, dude.
Everyone.
Okay, the list. Are you gonna go into that? Okay, go for it.
I'm just gonna say the main folks are we'll stick with the main folks. Fuck, I forgot their names already. Dear Lord.
Do you want to look at the list?
I have to look. Let me get IMDb up. I thought I had this in my head. Dear Lord. Old age is a problem, guys. Just to let you know, old age is a problem.
There is it. 2022.
Main characters are Christian Bale. Oh my God, what is his name? Something Washington. Oh my God, and the girl
Washington?
who played, yeah, Denzel Washington's son. What the
Oh,
hell?
John David Washington.
John Washington, and then of course our very own Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie. Those are the three. I see our own.
Those are the ones that you decided to be the big
Those are the three main guys. Yeah. Three main folks. Yeah.
Oh, the protagonists. You mean?
The protagonists, yes. One of them literally played the protagonist.
I was like, those are the actors that you're choosing to highlight?
Yes, because the story revolves around them. Now, there are many more actors that pop up. Zoe Saldana, Robert De Niro, what's his name, Robbie Malek. I mean, just a lot of random
Fucking Mike
folks.
Myers is in there.
Yes!
I thought, like, wait,
Yeah.
is Mike Myers? Was that Mike Myers?
Exactly what I thought. I was like, "Whoa, where you been, dude?" He's fucking
Rami
Austin
Malek.
Powers
You
was
said
years ago.
Rami Malek. You said there.
Rami Malek. Rami
Also,
Malek's in it.
Rami Malek, the guy from I always remember I had to write from the guy from not iRobot.
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. There.
Yeah, Mr. Robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Taylor Swift is
Yeah.
T-Swift. Because sure.
yeah. Honestly, I don't know what. Here's the beauty about that trailer. And I would argue that makes the film probably a little more intriguing. And the fact is, you have all these stars, but you really don't know what the through line plot is.
No.
They haven't revealed that. Everybody you're seeing, are bringing, these guys bring their A games. It's particularly the three protagonists. They're going to bring their A game. Robert De Niro, hello, come on now.
Yeah.
All the other ones come in. He's like, okay, these guys are okay. Yeah. You can see that this, when it takes place. Obviously, it takes place. It's a period piece. I don't know exactly what year, but it's definitely a period piece. And so you have all that, but you weren't spoiled with the plot in the trailer.
No.
So I will. You know what? Because of that, let's go ahead and make that one the trailer of the week, because it was like, you know what? In the end,
Yay.
it kept me intrigued. It's the reason why I brought it up. But in the end, I wasn't spoiled as to what happened, as opposed to the other one, Emily the Criminal, where we kind of see a lot of the beats that we're going to see in the film. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well,
we know for a fact that she's a criminal. It's in the title.
I was going to say that was spoiled before we saw the trailer. but we also see a lot of the main story beats. You can tell what she was doing beforehand. You can tell, okay, she gets into this, makes a little money, suddenly starts to like it. Okay, all those beats have been ruined by the trailer. Now, the trailer also says, oh, this is a nail-biting thing. And it's like, okay, so now it's not going to be nail-biting because you said it was going to be nail-biting. So, that part should have been left out personally. And if it's one of those that are tense and stuff like that, then that's what you just want to walk into that not knowing,
No.
But still, I did enjoy what I saw from Emily the Criminal. But I will get it to Amsterdam. 20th Century Studios, Amsterdam.
Yes, I was. Yeah, and my wife brought a good point, which was, I don't know. There's too many actors in there, and you know what? That's right. There's too many like high profile names, which
Too many chefs.
You mentioned it very well. It's like this could be very good. It could be awesome. It could be epic, but it could also be kind of not great because suddenly it's like everybody's trying to share the spotlight. Too many chefs, and it's last time I saw something, not as top tier as this, but certainly some recognizable actors. Was Eternal, the Marvel movie, and that thing was a fucking train wreck.
It sure was.
Going upside down and on fire.
Yeah. The only I think, well, it's from the director is also the director of Silver Linings Playbook, which was an Academy Award winning film. And what was the other one? The other one was American Hustle, which I also think it was Academy Award winning, but maybe not for Best Picture, more for like actors, stuff like that. It also had Christian Bale. So these two films are top notch films. So
yeah,
that kind of gives it a little bit of gravitas, and also may also explain why so many actors are interested in being in this film. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
they see something that maybe we were unaware of. So, and just look at the pedigree, right? Because actors do look at that. They go, "Ooh, what else did they do?" They know, okay, all right, maybe I will audition or sign up or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes they don't have to audition. But
listen, it has Chris Rock in it. All right. The boy deserved the spotlight or a different spotlight nowadays.
Wow. Yeah.
He deserves an Oscar, even though I haven't seen the movie, but I just wish I just wish that his performance is so stellar. Even if it looks like he's just having a small piece on it, I don't care. I hope he races with it, and I hope he like he gets nominated and wins an Oscar
Or
for
best
this.
supporting actor, whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And it gets presented by Will Smith. Yeah, that's what you said before. And honestly, that is genius, bro. That is fucking genius.
Oh,
No,
that
I
would be
didn't see
so
that.
fantastic. That would be the universe finally balancing itself.
Dude, my God, that would be. It would be. Oh my God. So yeah, we'll nail it and say Amsterdam Trail of the Week and follow up, or runner up, I should say, Emily the criminal, because she's a criminal. And
Yeah.
why not?
And those are the only two that we're selecting. So
Yeah, exactly. Because we said so.
guys, you got it's our goddamn show, so those are the two.
There you go.
That's what
And
we're
so,
going with.
yeah. All right, guys, let's move into a quick news item, sir. I wanted to get your thoughts. I assume you've already seen the
Mhm.
re-reveal of the long ingestation.
Gestation?
Thank you. I couldn't say the word.
No indigestion.
Yeah, not indigestion. Of Skull and Bones.
Skull and
Finally got revealed
Bones.
and re-shown off again, and I saw the entire. I was like, well, I don't know, it's like 8 minutes long of a presentation as far as the gameplay goes. And well, I'll let you say first. What do you think, sir? I assume you saw it. Did you see it?
Yes. Yeah. I did. I did see it. You know what? I don't know what, and I don't know why I tend to be so fucking forgiving of Ubisoft games when I know in reality, they are just. I don't know. I don't know what the word to say. They're kind of like the book, kind of like standard, kind of like nothing particularly like
Yeah, they make
grandiose or
games that check
spectacular.
boxes. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I am interested, actually.
Of course. Dear Lord, why was I expecting
So that
anything
said,
else?
I tell you what it is. It's the naval aspect of, like, not that I am into, like,
He who is not into pirates.
I'm not into no, totally no. It's not that. But I do recall the fun part of Assassin's Creed 4, was the fights on water, and even though it was much more simple, there were very toned down and simplistic gameplay elements. They were fun. It had a nice spectacle. When I heard that this game was being done all those ages ago, I was like, okay, I think I might be down with something like that but they have to flesh it out, and I don't know how they can do that since it seems very simple. When I saw the trailer and I saw all the things that they were doing, this latest trailer, I mean, because I shown this game before, but it always looked like, oh yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna pull it off. And to be fair, even looking at this trailer, I will still have my doubts. I will still have to wait for reviews, but just in the showing itself and the things that he's trying to bring, and the fact that it looks like it's more than just the naval combat aspect of it, I gotta say, it calls my attention. I'm always okay with trying something new, and this Ubisoft has for the most part has those games that are very checkboxy, but every now and then they have a game that is particularly interesting to me. I didn't play this one this much, but what's that combat game that you could be like all types of warriors?
For Honor.
For Honor, yeah, exactly. For Honor was something
still that got its community, and to be fair, you know what? To be fair,
and it's supported very well.
Yeah, you can't deny that, regardless of what we may think about their formulaic development of games.
Yeah,
they support their community. whatever communities
Yeah.
start to grow, they should support them. They just continue
Yeah.
to do stuff, and
I mean, shit, the
you got to give
division is
credit where
getting more
credit is
content
due. Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. So I, for one, sir, uh, this is a live service pirate game. That is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a live service. Now, at first, I was just like, at the moment I saw it, I was just like, oh, you're going there, another live service. It's like, I don't,
Yeah.
and I was completely, just like, nope, nope, nope. Ship
Yeah.
combat had me interested. Customizations of the ship had me interested. All these things, but it's like, nope, this is a live service. Nope, this is
The
all
ship looked
whatever.
cool, but yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, you get to towards the end of the presentation, like, oh, everything here can be played single player. You know what I mean? So you don't need
Yes.
to have whatever. And so that kind of peaked. I was like, okay, all right. But it's also Ubisoft and like
Yeah, which means the missions are probably gonna be very
very
one
standard.
dimensional and that kind of thing because they're meant to be like repeatable or what shit. Like say what you will, like I really enjoy the Division, but and even though those games has their single player aspects, like I'm not really playing them for them. I'm playing more for because I for some reason enjoy the progression of it, but there's the story is like the most one-dimensional bullshit that you can't even ask me. I can be bothered to tell you what it is, and this is probably gonna be the same. Let's be real. It
Yeah.
looks like that. It doesn't look like it's gonna be carrying any particularly special, single player aspect. It's gonna be more of, well, I heard you like progression and I heard you like ships, so we're gonna put them together, have at it, and if you want to go online. Or rather, the game's always going to be online, but you can decide if you want to actually engage other players, or which I'm not interested, or just level up and do the single player aspect and whatever. And I don't know, I'll be willing to give it a shot if I hear good things.
Mhm.
Like if I hear games like a 7 or something like that, like that's probably not going to push me towards it. But if I actually hear good vibes about it, then yeah, hell yeah, I could give it a shot because it does look interesting. Now it doesn't have me like jumping off like, oh my god, finally Skull and Bones is happening.
Honestly, I am less interested now than I was when it first got revealed. When it first got revealed,
I think you see what
I
it
was
is.
just
It's like,
oh,
yeah,
this looks okay. Well, remember the first got revealed, you weren't a player, you were the ship. Like you
Right.
controlled it. The player never actually left the ship.
yeah.
And so that was its original intent. And I guess maybe that met with some feedback and then just, or whatever. And then 5 years later, here we are, So overall, I think it has potential. I think that personally, if a part of me feels like this is not going to be anywhere like Elden Ring or anything like that,
No.
but a part of me feels like, I'll get to what I mean by that. Wouldn't it be cool if the four of us, you, me, Dark, and Chaos, would become these pirates? First off, I love pirates. I love the romantic aspect of pirate. What by real romantic is like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool to sail the seas and do what you want, drink rum, party,
I'm glad you mentioned that because I got a game for you. It's called Sea of Thieves and it's available on Xbox.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So this is obviously, looking at that crowd like, hey, you want pirates? Come our way, But yeah, so
like pirates
part of
that are
me
not
feels like,
cartoony.
wouldn't it be cool if we got together and maybe spent a few weeks doing this these missions and just building a crew and you know what I'm
treasure
saying?
and plunder for treasure.
Yes. So, but then again, it is a Ubisoft game, and who knows if that's exactly how if the end result is going to be how it's been promised.
I still don't understand why is it that, like, I recognize that they're not fantastic games. They're very run of the mill. The last time I could talk about a great Ubisoft title I can't honestly because there hasn't been one. I mean, regardless of how I feel about the Division 2 and how much I enjoy playing it and whatever, it's not. I realize
The last good Ubisoft title was a Ubi Art
I
title.
knew you were gonna say that.
It's true,
I wasn't gonna go there because I don't do the UB arts.
Whatever. You played Child of Light. You played what's the other one? The World War one. Come
No
on,
one's
those
supposed
were
to know.
excellent games, dude. Excellent
were.
games. That's their best. As far as I'm concerned, that's their best that they've done the last 10 years.
Listen, what's the game that they've been also trying to do for more than 20 years now?
Yeah,
you know which
but
one
they're
I'm talking about.
completely fucking it up, is what they're doing, because that's not the game that we wanted.
I know. What is it called?
Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and
2,
Evil.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's not
Yeah.
the first off, and I'm going off topic here, but I will be the first one to say, as someone who played Beyond Good and Evil, the first one from beginning to end, I enjoyed
That's
that
not
game.
it. Yeah. You
But it is not. That was not that great of a game that like clamored for a sequel. It's like, why are people clamoring for this? And then when you get it, now I look at it and go, not only is this not what people were at, this is nowhere near connected to the first one. It's just this is not even a reboot. This is like the most random reimagining of what that game was. You know,
Isn't
what I
it
mean?
an open world? Because
It was never open world. I mean, okay, so open world in the sense as whatever a PlayStation 2 can make an open world look like.
No.
you
I
know
mean,
what
like now, like this one. Like,
this is of course, because everything's fucking open world with Ubisoft. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And I'm sure for whatever reason it'll be some sort of live service as well. So because
there you
Ubisoft,
go.
yeah.
We're come full circle. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, they announced a division game that is a
the mobile game, yeah.
It's a mobile division game, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, it's so sad that we can't see the dislike ratios anymore on YouTube because that would be hilarious.
Honestly, I hate that. I hate that because that is in many ways silencing, the
That's what it
public.
is.
Yeah,
and
that's
what
my
it
friend.
is.
Yeah, it's. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Is that everyone's a winner mentality?
No, yeah. That, and it's like,
shit.
well, it's also for obviously for the benefit of them. If people like it, they can say people like it. We have what is it? We'll never know because we can't see it.
Now,
So-
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the silent critics, and yeah, that's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Bullshit.
So anyway, Skull and Bones coming out this year, guys. November 8th, coming to only next gen. That's right. That's Xbox SNS and PlayStation 5,
Good.
PC,
Good, UB.
Stadia, and Luna. Good stuff.
Oh, what? That's right. Because
That's a
it
thing.
comes out. Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what's also coming next year?
What?
You know what's also coming? No, well, this one you say it's coming this year, but you know what's coming next year?
2023. It's happening.
Uh-huh.
No, that's what's coming. 2023.
Oh,
I don't know, sir. What is it?
E3.
I will believe it when I fucking see it, bro.
No, they announced it. I was gonna post it also, but I figured
they announce it all the time, dude. We're supposed to have an E3 this year. Wow.
it has a backer. It has a backer. It's the same people that do the PAX, I think, or something like that is what I read. I don't know. Who cares? It's happening.
All right. I will request a time off. So that's all I can do.
There you go. At least that. Let's do that.
Do understand that if I change my mind and start realigning it to whatever the hell Jeff Keighley's going to do, it's only because I have faith.
E3 doesn't start until Jeff Keighley. He said so.
Exactly. Let's be real. And that was the case before, right? Isn't he the one who did Judges Week?
Oh yeah.
He was the one who did Judges Week, and that happened literally the week before E3. So it didn't start until he says, yeah.
Maybe E3 didn't die. Maybe Jeff Keighley killed E3.
Hey, I'm
He
I'm
was
not
murdered.
saying anything. I'm not trying to point fingers here, but
I think you know something.
where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, moving on, guys. It is now time, of course, for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Hot topic, guys. Again, phased out. We're talking about Marvel Studios, or I should say, particularly MCU. Well, let's just say Phase 4 has just been more depressing than anything else.
Coming from someone who hasn't seen
What? Why haven't I seen?
Love and Thunder. You haven't seen Love and Thunder.
Neither have you. Wait, you saw
Listen,
it already? Yeah, no,
I was
you would've
looking
told
at
me.
the trailer and it said, a bunch of news things had something to say about it. They didn't say what they say, but it showed a lot of logos.
Did you hear what these guys are saying? And then they show the logos.
Yes.
All these people are saying, what are they saying? Because if I just
Newsweek
saw,
says I reviewed it and they just leave it there.
and it's a movie. Yeah.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it is. To say so he's right. Thor: Love and Thunder is the current one. Literally today. Well, it's not Friday anymore. We're at 1:00 in the morning. But what was Friday? The 8th of July. Thor: Love and Thunder came to the theaters. Early reviews have it as pretty much okay. To good, right? Depending on who you ask. I think it's like a 68 on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment, which is technically good. You know what I mean? It's not rotten.
Yeah, it's fresh.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, but a
You
little
see?
more divisive than probably even Disney wants. But anyway, that has been I think you can agree that kind of has been the feel of Phase 4. Phase 4, for the record, takes place. The last thing of Phase 3 was No Way Home. No, not No Way Home. Far From Home. Far From Home. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yes.
That was the last.
Which we count. We said it's bullshit. It should have
It
been
is bullshit. It is bullshit. I agree. But I see why they do it is because of the handing off of right. Tony. Spoilers here. Tony Stark passed away. By the way, I'm not going to just randomly spoil shit, but we may say things that are, nothing more recent, but definitely phases 1, 2, and 3 guys are open game at this point. So
Yeah.
well,
I mean, we
not
can't
gonna
have the
purposely do
conversation
anything.
without
talking
talking about it. So it almost feels like at this point, if you're listening, you probably
you should. Yeah, at this point, you should be caught up, or at least close to caught up.
Yeah.
So anyway, Tony Stark, dies in Endgame, and so the passing of the almost like Stark tech and all that stuff over to Peter Parker and all that. So I get the reason why that was like the final whatever, but it really should not have been. Endgame was the end of Phase 3. But anyway, the point is,
it was literally in the name.
yeah. Anyway, the point is that the very first thing of actually the several first things of Phase 4 were the first TV shows shown on Disney Plus, specifically starting with WandaVision, then moving to Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then finally with Loki. So those were the ones that kicked off Phase 4. In essence, sir, we can agree. While WandaVision was good, definitely was whatever. And then
it was different. It was very different. That's probably why it's getting the the praise.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki, on the other hand, they were not the best. And one of the common complaints, and I wonder if you picked up on this as well, is they call it the falling out in the middle of the series. It's the falling out, meaning that the opening episode of the series is good, then you have this slow pace fallout in the middle, and then it'll end sort of, or it'll try to end on a high note.
Okay.
So that's been a common complaint, and I have to say that I think Falcon and Winter Soldier definitely that. And Loki, on the other hand, it did have the falling out in the middle. I think there was there was this random. I had to actually look up some stuff for Loki because I just had to remember. It's like, yeah, they were stuck on a planet at some point that for a long time for no reason. They were trying to discuss like, yeah, that's right. I just like completely blocked that out because it was so unimportant.
Yes.
And then so yeah, I think that is
very aimless.
Exactly. I think that's the issue with Phase 4. It feels aimless. It feels like we don't know where we're going or what we're trying to say.
Oh, so like the new Star Wars trilogy is what you're saying.
Yeah, actually, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, random like that, and back and forth. Sir, your thoughts
Let's just wing
on
it.
those first few series overall? Do you agree that they feel aimless? They feel like, okay, we're just buying time here to do something.
Listen, it's good. I mean, realize this is usually this is a topical podcast, and this is the one where we try to bring opposite points of view. It's very difficult to want to bring opposite point of view on something that it has been so like one sided. As in, it feels like everything after Endgame kind of doesn't matter as much because we're no longer pursuing that major backstory within the stories of the movies themselves. Like that puzzle was finished already. This the beginning of phase 4 and pretty much everything that has come after that. I'm not gonna say that everything has been like completely disappointing, because it has had some highlights. We were just talking recently about Moon Knight, and how much I enjoyed that
That is
series.
probably the highlight. Well, I still say Spider-Man No Way Home was probably higher than that. But this is right next to it.
You go ahead and say that.
I know.
I'm not. Well, you go ahead and say that.
All right.
But for the most part, when taken by themselves, like none of these movies had hit. That wouldn't be fair to say. Actually, let me rephrase. A lot of these movies have not been able to capture, the magic and the interest of that, those movies from the previous phase. It like God knows that they have tried. They were trying to do some big thing with the Eternals.
The Eternals, yes.
That was supposed to be like, I guess that the next thing where they're setting up all these actors and all this thing, and dude, that came and went. And I don't know numbers. You probably will have better data on this than I do, but I can't imagine with the level of with the type of talent that they had to pay and special effects and all that. Like, I can't imagine this movie recouping or doing that well. Who knows if it did, but it certainly didn't feel, because even the movie itself did not feel like anything special. There was no Avengers moment where everything was a good story with a great with great stakes and a lot of heroes that we love seeing together. It's like, no, man. And here everyone's new. We don't know them. We're supposed to care for them. There was a lot of shoehorn political topics that it felt out of place. It was kind of all over the place.
It was.
That was supposed to be the highlight of, or at least to me, that was supposed to be like that. Like the big, like the big one, like the Avengers of the phase 4.
Yeah, I had, to me, I wasn't that hopeful on that one. I felt Eternals was going to fall into the Justice League problem, where it was like, okay, now the difference with Justice League is we kind of know a lot of those characters, right? So it's like, okay, well, I know who Batman is, I know who Superman. The problem is we don't know them in this universe, and we're just finding them out together, and so now we have to get their backstories and all this other stuff, and on top of that, we have to have the main plot.
Right.
That was the problem with
all
Eternals.
Together in one movie.
In one movie, yeah. And so that was the problem that I figured the Eternals were gonna have, because it's like, we don't know who you are, and I had to look them up. I don't know who the Eternals were, I know of the Eternals, right? Like I've heard the term in
Yes.
conversations with Mark, but I don't know. I've never read any comic books with them, so I had to look them. I didn't know anything about them, and the movie tried to fill in where they could and give us this, bare bones story of the Celestials and others. Like, what are we talking about here? This is a bunch of fucking cosmic nonsense. You know what I mean? And that's why, in the end, it's just, to me, it was like, it wasn't a compelling story at all. But I also expected it to not be. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was, because it did pretty much bottom out. But I didn't think it was going to be that bad. But
yeah,
turns out you can be.
I was like, I didn't know what to expect, because I figure, okay, this is not a movie about a particular hero. This is a movie about a group, So it
They have
almost
been
felt
here forever. By the
they
way.
have been here forever, and they're supposed to be like the most, the supreme beings, the most powerful entities or whatever, because there's always something more powerful than the previous powerful. But and there was, it was supposed to, as a group of heroes that have existed for like millennia. I was thinking that, okay, so they might be trying to set up, with all this big, name actors and actresses, they were trying to set up the, like the next team that we're gonna be excited to see, a second movie of them, of them together. But it turned out that, the movie itself, and I don't want to focus on just the one movie, because it was not just the one
It's
movie
a low
problem.
point so far. Let's be real.
But it's
That is a low
it's one
point,
it's I will say probably one of the lowest points so far. But the movie, like, it failed to capture that, because, like you said, we don't know any of this, any of these characters. It doesn't matter if they're, if they're so, incredible and powerful and all that. How come they were completely absent during one of the most, apocalyptic and climactic moments of the universe? Like, where were they? Like, all that kind of stuff. And you almost feel like, there's this is the last time we're gonna hear about the Eternals. I don't think we're ever gonna see them together again.
Yep,
It just
I
doesn't
agree.
feel like it's because there was no
100%.
chemistry on among them at all.
No, not at all. It's I mean, to be fair, it may be the last time we'll see an Eternals movie. The characters may bleed into some of the other stuff, because, as
Sure.
always, there's some stuff. You have the stinger at the end of that movie, which is, I can't remember the particular character's name, but turns out to be either the cousin or stepbrother of fucking Thanos. It's like, okay, so clearly, someone, there's something here that you're, they're
Wasn't
laying
he like a
groundwork.
knight or something like that? Or there was
No, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about the guy who played Jon Snow. That was the other stinger.
Yes.
There was a stinger with
which was really fucking dumb also.
yeah, it was. But that's the thing. It's like, who, now it's getting so granular. It's like, oh, you're really just talking to the fans. So these stingers are not even for us anymore.
No.
You and
No.
I, the common, that I know some stuff of Marvel. I don't know the granular level of shit like that. So, but no, it was another one where they were on a ship. At the end of Eternal, spoilers. At the end of Eternals, they get onto that ship that they came in, and what's her name? What is her name? I don't remember her name, but
Of an Eternal, I don't remember
oh
any.
my god, dude! What is? Well,
Okay.
it
I
doesn't
should
matter.
be looking at the cast.
She's. Oh, actually, I guess I have it here. I don't know why. Let's see. Kit Harington. No. Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie's character, Athena.
Right,
And they're on the ship, and they're on her and somebody else on the ship, and they're on their way, whatever. And their ship gets boarded or something by this other character. One of them is a CG kind of whatever, and then there was just this random guy. Doesn't even look like Thanos. It's like, well, he's related to Thanos. I had to look that up as well.
I'm
'cause I didn't
Thanos'
know.
cousin.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't say that, but
Thanos.
yeah. He's somebody else and whatever. It's just a lot of nonsense. It's like, none of that makes any sense. And again, I get it. You're putting the pieces together, but or you're not putting the pieces. You're laying the pieces down so that you can eventually put them together. But
Yeah.
it's not flying. And that one, I agree, was a low point. Real quick, I want to touch on the
Mm.
stuff that has gone in. We mentioned WandaVision. We mentioned Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. Followed up by that was Black Widow, which to me was not a very good film. It's not the low
No, it
point,
was not.
but it's right next to Eternals, as far as I'm concerned.
As far as needed, yes, I'm right there with you.
Exactly. Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, which I did enjoy. It wasn't great. It wasn't, a banger or anything like that. And I feel like the
No.
end was a nothing but a CG,
Yeah,
CG fest.
fest.
Yeah. It's like, oh god.
This one.
But and a lot of these are going to be that, unfortunately. But some of them just feel so. Oof, it just bothers me. But anyway,
They look like look like video games you're not controlling.
exactly.
Yeah. At least Shang-Chi had the benefit of starring Aquafina also, which is awesome.
Yes,
and
which
she
I
plays
knew her in it to me.
and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
funny and yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, the main character was charming and
Yeah, he was good. I do want to see him again.
me
it's-
too. And we probably
yeah.
will. We definitely will. I'm sure that's probably going to continue.
Let's start
From
putting
there-
them together. Yeah.
Yeah. From there, we had the What If series. Did you watch all of them? I feel like you watched a few.
did.
I don't know if okay.
No, I watched them all. I like it. I didn't necessarily put them together into like this is part of the whole Phase 4 situation scenario.
And
But
it is. That's the reason I was just gonna say. It's like a lot of people don't realize that is canonical. It's a Phase
canonical.
4. Yes,
that-
yes.
that's fair because what if perfectly explains the next aspect, which is going to be a big part or it's already a big
Yes.
part of this phase, which is the multiverses.
The multiverse, yes, which is why it was such an important thing to it, and I did enjoy it. For the record, I did enjoy the.
Oh, yeah,
There's some
I
some
liked
weird
it a
random
lot.
ones, but overall, that's what you get when you have multiverse. You're gonna have weird random shit. So I did
Multiverse.
enjoy that, and the animation was really cool. I also kind of enjoyed the
Yes.
animation. Then, of course, you had the Eternals, which we already touched on. Hawkeye came out after that, which is
I
the
haven't
holiday
seen Hawkeye.
of 2021.
I heard it was good.
I enjoyed Hawkeye. It's definitely not as good as Moon Knight, but it's definitely not as bad as, say, Falcon Winter Soldier or Loki.
No.
And not that those were bad, personally. They just were not great or not good. Yeah, okay. It had good moments, and some had good episodes. Like Falcon Winter Soldier's first episode is still an extremely strong episode. It just never comes back up. to
Just
that.
never, it never recaps that.
Yeah,
It gets
and,
lost into, there's a group of kids that are supposed to be terrorists, but sure.
Captain America is this other guy who's really funny looking and all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But anyway, Hawkeye I think is definitely
And the biggest fucking worst crime that shit did, which is the reason why I'm not even considering it canon, even though it is. Let's make what's her name?
I got you. Yeah, Agent something of Agent 13. Oh God, what's her name? Hold on, let me see.
Peggy? No, she's not Peggy.
She's Agent Carter. She's the other Agent Carter.
Yes.
I can't remember her name now though.
Yes,
It's not Peggy Carter. It's fuck it. It's Samantha Carter. I don't know. It's something
It's-
Carter. Yeah.
Let's suddenly make her and not even not even I don't give a fuck. I don't suppose Winter Soldier. Nobody should watch that shit. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. But let's instead of being a cool reveal like like when you discover a bunch of Hydra people on Winter Soldier on the actual movie in the Captain America the Winter Soldier. No, let's just make her some what she end up being like a
She's like a
member of
almost like a crime boss, an
like a
underground
crime boss or some
yeah.
shit like that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake. Like, who would, like, come? Who the fuck greenlit this shit? It was terrible. Now, maybe it's just a setup to trying to say something cool like, oh, she was infiltrating in reality and something like that. I hope they save it like that because I am not buying it any other way.
I agree. I agree.
And that's the fundamental problem. It looks aimless. It looks like they don't know what to make with these characters anymore. So they're just like, look at fucking Loki. Loki was supposed to be this crazy, just like we didn't know what the fuck was what's Loki gonna be, right? And we were thinking like, man, I don't know, but it looks weird. If they can pull it off.
The premise started off pretty good.
Well,
overall.
it's you think, but it's just cartoonish nonsense. What Loki ended up becoming was, it did not feel like he landed into like any particular cool reveal. It was more like, oh, this feels like some fan fiction bullshit that someone tried to, they couldn't cope with the fact that Loki was dead, and they just tried to revive him and make it into this world where, what is the ultimate power now? Some people that are outside the realm of time, and they can the timekeepers that somehow
the TVA,
the TVA, yeah, exactly. The TVA, they use they use typical, earthy technology, but they control the universe. But fuck that shit. Like, fuck Loki, and then fucking female Loki. Go fuck yourself. And the multiple Lokis.
That's a multiverse aspect. So it's like it's one of those things. And we've heard that before in other stuff. It's like, I can't remember the title, but it was like this weird thing where he goes, "Oh, he's one of you. In this universe, you're this, and you're this. In this universe, you're a woman." It's like, oh, okay, because it's that random thing.
Yeah,
you just don't know.
And by the way, let's take this moment to establish the Loki's sexuality, because we were dying to know about that. Also, let's just make it clear. It's just. Like, I tried to convince myself that what I saw was not terrible, because I was wounded by Winter Soldier and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier already. So I was kind of licking my wounds, and it's like, oh, I need to justify the fact that I'm spending $10 on this shit, on Disney Plus. Like, I hope this is not as bad, right? It's Loki. It's kind of silly, and like, yeah, no, that shit was fucking terrible. Also, it's unforgivable. And I should have known from the fact that from the moment they took the fucking the gemstone, the fucking
the Infinity Stones.
The Infinity Stones, and we're like, oh yeah, no, we use that as paperweight. It's like, fuck you, like. He's a fucking train wreck.
I still,
like, no respect whatsoever for anything. Like,
I still get what they were trying to do, which is why I was like, okay, I get it. There's always, it's not always a higher power. It's just there's always a trump card. You know what I mean? And so that's how I was like, okay.
I'm surprised these fire powers are not fighting each other instead of trying to take over the lesser beings.
Well, I mean, there lies the problem with ultimate power, right? You just assume you're the ultimate power. You don't think that anything else is out there. So, which is why exactly how Loki treated it. But anyway, so yeah, I still say Hawkeye. You should check it out. From there, of course, we had Spider-Man: No Way Home, which we saw. I thought it was really good, but mostly because it pulled at the nostalgia strings that I have with Spider-Man's character. You don't have those nostalgia strings, so frankly, it was just a movie for you.
And it was a good, it was a good movie. I'm not gonna say I'm not shitting on it or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. And it was cool to see. It was cool to cement the fact that, oh, okay, yes, the multiverse is gonna be a legitimate thing here, because otherwise they wouldn't be doing this, And it was an intelligent way of setting up the different Spider-Man, because Spider-Man and multiple universe for some reason has gotten like interwebbed.
Oh, well done, sir. Well done.
Sorry about that. But they kind of got intertwined for some reason, and like, sure, if you're gonna introduce the concept of the multiverse, why not do it here? And since you have to, since your time is up already, your lease is up, you need to return Spider-Man to Sony. Well, what a perfect way to set it up, set up everything up where, okay, now, the Spider-Man of the MCU is no longer gonna be MCU. Now it's gonna be the whatever, the Venom
Who
world.
knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, they're definitely bringing Venom back in, but that's because now it's interesting. I think that movie was the first one that introduced Venom into the MCU, right? Because he's in an MCU film technically.
Yes.
So yeah, but he's
Yes.
also from another universe. So it's like, so
Is he the Venom?
is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, is he the? Yeah. So it's like, okay, you're just leaving that question mark up in the air.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys got to be careful because the same shit you pull with comics, you can't really bring it to the big screen. I mean, you could try, but there's some high.
Yeah, but you need to
concept of comic
streamline it. That's the whole deal. You need to streamline it. You can't have
Exact-
all the craziness. You got to have
No.
some of the craziness so that it's just
Comics are for us nerds, and if you're trying to bring that to the mainstream is gonna be like, this shit doesn't make sense. Wasn't he in this movie? Like, oh no, I'm not. I'm
and I
out.
think that the reaction to Phase 4 is the result of that. You know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
this is why they're reacting this way. It's like this is way too convoluted, and there is no focus.
No,
Real quick,
there's
just
no
to finish off.
storyline or anything like that.
Yeah, real quick, just to finish off what's already been out on Phase 4. We have Moon Knight, which we already talked about earlier. Probably the highlight of the thing, and probably the one thing of everything we've seen here, if I'm looking at this correctly, that is not multiverse related.
That is not.
Well, in the sense that it's never brought up in that particular in the show, right? Is multiverse?
No, definitely,
Right.
yeah, right. Okay, got you. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. Everything else that WandaVision, Falcon with the Soldier, Loki. Well, maybe those didn't have it. They were playing around with it at that point, but from then on in, we were all talking about it. By the time we get to Eternals, it's all over the place. And of course, then after that, you have Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
But at that point, they are putting it on the
It's
title.
literally the
screen,
title.
so-
Man. It's like, hey, we're all about multiverse.
What do we think about that? About that one, real quick? 'Cause I know.
I honestly, my opinion still stands that it was good, not great. I didn't like every character. It felt silly at some points, but overall, I enjoyed my time with it. I did like the villain.
Yes.
Did like the villain. Did like
It
what they
was
did with the villain.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
and how they treated it.
Yes.
But that's a problem with the Phase 4 as well. Now that they've introduced television into the phase, it's like if you've not watched television or not a Disney Plus subscriber, and you've only watched the films, walking into this film may feel seriously disjointed. It's just like, who the hell is this? What happened to this person? Why did? Yeah. So yes, I'm being a little bit more vague because that is a more recent film. I don't want to
No,
spoil
that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like that movie more than you did. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one, of course, is Miss Marvel, which I have not seen. I've been waiting for the last episode to drop so that I could just watch it all together.
yeah, me too.
I have heard great things about it, and I don't know how to feel about that. It's probably one of the higher rated stuff that Disney Plus has put out or Marvel has put out,
Really?
depending on how you look at it.
Hmm.
Yeah. But it also has me going, why is that exactly?
Yeah.
It's like, is it because it's a good Marvel thing, or is it because of something more, I don't know, political or whatever you want to say? But anyway,
Oh, I do know.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to say, it could be really good. It's some of those things like, look, in the end, guys, I just want a good Marvel property. I don't
Yeah.
need to have it touch on every base.
No.
But anyway, then of course, as of today, Thor: Love and Thunder comes out, which so far 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, as I mentioned earlier. And believe it or not, sir, we're only about halfway through, or a little over halfway through Phase 4.
I believe it. I believe it. Where's the Guardians of the Galaxy? I mean, this phase doesn't start until the Guardians of the Galaxy comes out, because at least that's the only group that I can recognize and relate and be like, oh yes, awesome.
Oh.
We're having them together.
So you
again.
have so here's there's 6 more pieces to the puzzle. We have, first off, for whatever reason, August 10th, I am Groot. I don't know what it is, but it is part of Phase
What?
4. I am Groot.
What is that? Is that a series? That's right. That's a series.
That's a
Whatever.
series. That's TV series. Yeah, that's TV.
I would be funny if this this is a kids show where like preschool kids show where
I
it's
think
just
it
the
is.
characters going, I am
Yeah.
Groot. I am
It
Groot.
is live action, so
There
yeah.
you go. Okay.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
So was Barney.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, fair enough. She-Hulk, which we saw the trailer at some point, that comes on August 17th.
Yeah.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which comes out in November of this year. And that's a big question mark for there. Because I don't know what we're getting from that film because
know
obviously
nothing about what
yeah.
we're getting on this one.
And to say that comes out this year, and we have seen nothing. Nothing. We saw Love and Thunder, God knows how long ago. You know what I mean? It's like November.
Well,
That, my friend, is only 4 months away, and we've seen nothing
nothing. Yeah.
of this film.
Not
so-
even leaks or anything. No one's talking about it.
Nothing. And I mean, yeah, it could be great, but it's like, what is it? I don't even know what it's about. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, yes, Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, I get you. But, you know, the titular actor unfortunately had passed away. Rest in peace. And I don't know how we're going for it. Maybe it'll be spectacular. A lot, everybody who came back, or everybody who was involved in the first one are coming back. So that's always good. But it is a huge question mark because it's like, I don't know what angle we're going with this. But hey,
yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania comes out February of next year. I know you're not a big fan of Ant-Man. I like the first Ant-Man. Didn't really
I
care
like
for the
him.
second one. I don't know.
I feel the opposite, I think. But no, it could go either way, honestly.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out May of next year. So
There we go. Marking my
yeah.
calendar.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
There it
Do we
is.
know a subtitle for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or no?
No, it's
Really?
just Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Volume 3.
Bottom
Yeah,
three.
Volume 3, yeah.
Awesome.
For the record, you will see the Guardians of the Galaxy in Love and Thunder. That's obviously that's where Thor has been hanging out with.
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
I
so
guess.
you'll see
Well,
them there.
shit. Well, now I have to see this.
Yes, exactly.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that was a fun movie.
It is.
I did not like the second one though.
Yeah, no, that was
No
the
one
last
did.
low point. Yeah.
Yes.
And then finally, the Phase 4 ends with The Marvels. Yes, The Marvels.
The Marvels.
The Marvels are all about Captain Marvel. You remember Captain Marvel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You remember that great movie that everybody loved?
Every cap. Oh yeah, no, it was fantastic coming of age. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So The Marvels is a film about all the Marvels. You have Carol Danvers. You have Monica Rambeau, which was in the show, I believe, WandaVision. Yeah.
Yes.
She becomes a Marvel. And then, of course, you have Miss Marvel, which we know is a series right now that Kamala Khan. So this is what the Marvels is. It's like the culmination of these characters come together. And so
And it's a sitcom.
no, this is a movie. This is a movie.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying because it's called The Marvels. I can already imagine the jingle. You know?
Well done. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see that coming. Wow. So that's the end of Phase 4, sir. And well,
Mhm.
I don't see a lot of
No,
potential
I
here.
guess it's answered. It's there. Our answer. We're not going to have like if this is supposed to be setting something up. Do you think it's gonna end? You know, it's gonna conclude with the Marvels. Is that what it's?
No,
it's not.
it'll probably
It's not
have the. Oh, I was just gonna say it'll probably have the breadcrumb of the what the next one, but it's clear that so the common theory at this point is that they're heading into Secret Wars, Marvel's Secret Wars, and
What is Secret Wars, sir?
so Secret Wars is a storyline, actually a more recent storyline in the comic book series, where basically the world we know, the universe that we are aware of, which is, as you know, thanks to Multiverse of Madness, we are in the universe 616. That's our universe. That's the universe prime, if you will. So everything that we know about is always happening. And then you have other universes, and so there's a collision that happens between 616 and another universe, and that is what Secret Wars essentially. That's the main premise of Secret Wars.
Okay.
And then what happens afterwards is after the collision, because the whole thing is that the collision actually happens. Okay, how they do this will be interesting to see because the collision happens. It's not about avoiding the collision; it's the collision. Obviously, at one point they're trying to avoid it, but the collision does happen, and it's picking up the pieces of the universes afterwards.
So the collision. When you say they happen, do you mean like this is like apocalyptic, like catastrophic, like world ending?
Our universe collides with another universe, and essentially doesn't destroy things, but just throws everything off into a loop. You have weird things like the Thor Corp, a core, where it's like a policing agency all made up of different Thors. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell is that? Just weird shit like that ends up happening here.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah. So basically, the point of the story was to essentially try to save, or in some way, if I think I'm correct, you sort of combine the universes and become one, but make it make sense. And I want to say that's how Miles Morales came to our universe, because he is him being Spider-Man was not of our universe. And if you've seen Into the Spider-Verse,
Tino Spider-Man, that'll never happen in our universe. Come on.
I was just saying, if you remember the Into the Spider-Verse,
it's crazy as having a black president.
the Spider-Man who is our Spider-Man is is Peter B. Parker. That's our Spider-Man, the older whatever.
Right.
And he ends up getting pulled into another universe that has a different Spider-Man and also has Miles Morales. And so I don't know how close that is to the comic books, but anyway, the uniting of the universes is where we suddenly have Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man in one universe.
So that
he
sounds like an
interesting 6, yeah.
That sounds like an interesting premise. See, that is something that I wouldn't mind watching. It's just
what have we seen?
None of what's happening so far seems to be leading there at all.
The introduction. So it's just really the introduction of the multiverse, right? It's like if you're introducing the multiverse, why would you do that? Oh, well, you would do that because you intend to. And Loki, that's why everybody was big on Loki's final ending, because it was that the splitting of the multiverse, or the main line. I can't remember what it was, but the whole thing that he did there. And so the ultimate bad guy that they think is going to happen is Kor the Conqueror,
Mr. Talkie Talkie.
Mr. Talkie Talkie, yes, him.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if he was the main bad guy in the story Secret Wars, but it seems to be just leading to all that, basically. So so that's the answer. And yes, it is interesting, but they have to follow through with it. And again, the only thing we have, let's go back to Phase 4 so far and talk about what has been pointing to the multiverse and whatever. You have WandaVision didn't even touch on it. Falcon and Winter Soldier also didn't touch on that. Loki was the first branch that got you there. Black Widow was a prequel that we didn't need. Shang-Chi didn't touch on it at all. What If did? That's an animated series. Did anybody watch that? We hope they did. And if they did, do they think it's canonical? Probably not. You know what I mean?
I didn't think it was until you mentioned it.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
Okay, well, now it makes sense because of reasons that I can't say because it'll spoil very recent movies.
Exactly. Eternals I don't think it touches on the multiverse. Hawkeye, I don't believe also touches on the multiverse. Hawkeye only happens the entire story happens within a week. Right. Spider-Man No Way Home clearly does. It's all multiverse there. Moon Knight does not. Doctor Strange does, obviously. I don't know about Ms. Marvel, and I also don't know about Thor. So you have Loki, you have What If, you have Spider-Man No Way Home, and you have Multiverse of Madness. That's 4 out of the 13 things that have been released that have touched onto it. So it's, again, if that's where you're going, the bread pieces are way too far apart. You know,
Yes.
it's like you're not seeing the plot for what it is. Like, okay, it's all about the multiverse. Is it really though? Because only 4 really touch on that. So, so yeah, so that's what Secret Wars. And again, Marvel's not saying it's not. Kevin Feige is saying, "Oh yeah, that's what we're doing." We don't know. The only thing that we know is that they're doing Secret Invasion, which is another storyline, which we've already seen. It's when the Skrulls, you know, those green faced people,
Right.
they shapeshift, whatever. They come into the Marvel universe and they sort of essentially they've been invading Earth for a while. They're shapeshifters and they end up replacing a bunch of heroes, and people don't know because well they're shapeshifters. You don't know this. It's a cool little story, but guess what? That's going to be a series on Disney Plus. So not a big
Oh.
mega event. It's just like, so, okay, that's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
I mean, it
I don't
looks.
know what you're doing. Damn it,
It.
Marvel.
I think I do. I think I do. So a lot
Okay.
of people have a lot of people have heard that the concept of the metaverse, right? And
Metaverse,
and for the concept of the metaverse is I'm not talking about virtual worlds. That's not what metaverse really is in the grand scheme of things. Metaverse, all metaverse is, it's the I don't want to call it unification, but almost like the aggregation of different properties into a cohesive universe, so that those universes those properties that have higher gravitas and higher like staying power and bigger fans and all that, the lower tier properties can kind of siphon a little bit of that of that recognition power, just because you're putting them together. You're making it so that the bigger brands are helping the smaller by introducing, mixing characters. It's the thing that Fortnite does when you have events where it's Fortnite, but Darth Vader is in it for some fucking reason, or frigging I don't know, Rambo or whatever, whatever IP start coming into Fortnite.
Thanos at one point with the Golden Gauntlet. With the gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly. So Disney, if you think about this, all Disney cares about, shareholders are making money. Of course, they're gonna bring those properties, and they're gonna treat them with whatever sort of respect you think there are, which is none, because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter. They're just gonna do whatever brings them money. So the logical thing to do with this is, hey, how do we prop up Disney Plus subscriptions? How do we prop up the movie, the movie? How do we elongate this so that it doesn't feel like it's a finite number of movies, like phase 3 felt and the previous one felt? Like, how do we make this last as long as as possible? Well, let's make it so that we mix this intertwining story, which right now is still at we say it's in the middle. Yes, it might be in the middle of phase 4 itself, but certainly not in the middle of the plans that Disney has for all this.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's bring them all together and let's intertwine them in a way that you can't miss whatever's on Disney Plus if you want to follow the movie, and vice versa. So that's they're all building a metaverse of this Marvel properties in general, and that's how you start introducing and the reason why it's so beneficial to bring the concept of the multiverse is because at that point it's all fair game. You can do fucking whatever. You can bring Luke Skywalker if you want, and it wouldn't be crazy. Why? Because it's another universe. It's a galaxy far, far away. But guess what? It's not that far, because it's actually here on Disney Boulevard. Right next to the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It's the same old lie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When it
to
comes
make
to
money of it, is to have the metaverse, to put all this brand together, and to make us, the consumer, want to consume all that. They go to Disney Plus and keep our subscriptions alive because we don't want to miss. And I'm not gonna say. I mean, there's obviously opportunities here to make things interesting. Let's hope. Let's hope they do. I mean, they got no choice. They have to, because otherwise, people are gonna be like, "Oh, I'm falling out of this shit."
I'm fucking done. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting is not all. Is nothing's the same, right? So it's like, okay, well, I'm falling off of Falcon and Winter Soldier, but Loki. Oh, let's see what that's about. That still will bring you back because it's something completely different.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, still within the same universe, but a different tale somewhere else. So you're right. I like that. I like that aspect of the metaverse that you're because it's very meta. But
Yes.
my question is,
Mm.
and we can sort of close on this, is now that we've seen what we've seen in Phase 4 and know what's coming left of Phase 4 and know excuse me, what's coming as far as Phase 5 and beyond. I'm literally going to just blur all this out because it's not you don't need to sit on this either. I know
Right.
Blade's coming. We know I mentioned the Secret Invasion. That's technically not. There's a Secret Invasion show, and that's technically not Phase 4. So obviously that would be Phase 5. Deadpool's coming to the MCU because they are obviously known.
Mhm.
Ironheart, which is the new Iron Man or woman, technically. Armor Wars, which has to do with War Machine. We have another Wakanda thing, a Yokoyi spinoff, Agatha Harkness, which the spinoff from WandaVision.
Mhm.
Echo,
Halloween,
which is
this bad guy was so endearing that we should make it a good guy.
exactly.
thing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Or at
Disney
least
likes to do.
a mean or good bad guy. Or a
Yes.
mean good guy. Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Season 2 What If has been officially done or officially announced and all that. Marvel Zombies. I don't know why they're going to do that. Fantastic Four, believe it or not, is going to happen. So knowing all that.
I like the fact that that's the one that we're like, believe it or not, Fantastic Four is
I mean,
happening.
considering how that series has shot the bed when Fox had it several times. And then, yeah, I haven't even watched the most recent Fantastic Four.
No.
Because I
Avert
heard
your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, my point is to say, or my question is to sort of bookend this, is now that we've seen this, now that you know, or not know, because we don't know they're doing Secret Wars, but it feels like they're going in that direction.
Mm.
Do you feel that this is Phase 4 is more of a bridging point between the last major saga and a possible new major saga? And does that make you excited or not excited, make curious or anything for what's coming?
Yes, it makes me curious. I would say there's no denying that this movie's, for what it is, there's still interesting pieces, and we either have them or not have them. I'd rather have them. And it's cool to discover gems, like recently with Moon Knight, for example. So I'm not gonna say I'm excited because there's nothing so far that you've mentioned, on the horizon, other than the fact of that storyline with the colliding worlds sounds kind of neat. But does it really matter? Because I mean, it looks like
it's gonna get stalled in the end.
Yeah. So so far there's a lot of new faces and characters that Phase 4 have introduced that are just not, that they're not sticking. Like, they doesn't feel like they like it. Eternals, I don't know. The movie ends with see you on the next Eternals or something like that. It's like no, we don't. I don't feel that's getting greenlit. Shang-Chi was cool, and but I'm not sure if that's I don't know. There doesn't seem to be that staying power of all the previous heroes.
You don't have
And
your pillars.
yeah,
You don't
there's no
have
pillars.
your
Exactly.
you don't have your Iron Man. You don't have your Captain America.
No.
In nothing that we've seen so far.
You kind of have to rely on those old ones or
Yeah.
variations of those. Like,
see
Iron Man
Thor.
is dead. Okay, well
Yeah.
let's bring Ironheart.
Exactly. We see Thor, but Thor, I feel I haven't watched obviously Love and Thunder, but I feel like this is the passing of the torch because Thor
Oh, most
is
definitely.
now going to be
Yeah.
Jane Foster, which is canonical to the comic books. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, so Chris Hemsworth, this may be his last film because he's just gonna
I think he
whatever.
said it. I think he said
Yeah,
it.
he may have even mentioned it. So it's like, okay, so you have that passing off. It's like, okay, but who we're going is like, it just feels disjointed. Everything just feels disjointed. It
Mhm.
just feels like
Yeah.
you want to be saying something, but you're not really saying anything.
Yeah.
And I agree with what's in the horizon looks interesting potentially, but nothing ground
Not
shaking.
exciting. There's nothing
Yeah,
moving
exactly.
the
Because
needle
even like you said, there's even the spinoffs are the spinoffs, but the like Ironheart. Well, so that's just Iron Man. It's another Iron Man, right? It's
Mhm.
like it's Riri Williams, and she's doing her own version of Iron Man. We don't have the Hulk, but we have She-Hulk. Yeah, but it's still another Hulk, right? It's just it's
Mhm.
still the same pieces are still there,
Yes.
even Hawkeye. I'm sure it's in the trailer. That there's a young person that he sort of takes under his wing. It's like, so he can go retire to his family because, well, you have somebody else that takes place. So it's like, are we going to run into the next Avengers and it's going to be just the same characters played by younger folk? Yeah, it's like it's I don't know. That could be what we see. And so I don't know what it is, and I feel like, I mean, it could be great, but it could just be, hey, this is the next Avengers saga for the next generation, right? And it's like, well, I guess I'll stick to my first 23 movies. You know what I mean? It's like,
and so far, nothing in this phase has like been amazing. Like the only movies that I can say like, oh yeah, I enjoyed those are, well, Doctor Strange. We already had a Doctor Strange, and frankly, I was waiting for Doctor Strange 2 to see what the hell that was gonna be. Well, I guess this answers it. Yeah, this is what ends up being.
Yeah,
that's okay, I guess. But like, I don't know. Like, I'm not looking for. I mean, I like Shang-Chi. I'm not looking forward for another one. I'm not necessarily like foaming at the mouth for the next one. And,
correct. Yeah,
and
what I'm foaming in the mouth for is something new, which is why actually.
Well, that was Eternals, and Eternals wasn't great. It was new, so true. I'm not sure if it has to be.
Something
it has
new
to be,
and well done. How about that?
Yeah. It had to be. It has to be maybe those lighting series. Maybe those like the typical those series that they used to do, like, forgot what is those called, but they had Jessica Jones. They had Daredevil too, also.
Yeah, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist,
and like maybe those. I don't know
his name. Oh my god, what was his name?
I know we're trying to talk about. I also don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that. I think the best out of that group is easily a Daredevil. Yeah, and the Punisher also was in there too. Those are
Punisher also. Oh shit! Yeah. Okay,
but yeah, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we stand with Phase 4. It is okay so far, or just mediocre, maybe, I guess we can say, and we have some hope for the future. This is a little
I prefer that they happen. I prefer that they happen because, I mean, I'm also, I'm gonna watch Love and Thunder. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it at the theater because I already asked my wife, which would have been the only thing that would have gotten me interested in watching, would have been if my wife was any excited to watch it, and she was like, "No, I'd rather go. I'd rather go out.
Let's just go have drinks. Let's just have
let's just go have drinks instead. How about that? It's
That's
like,
hilarious. Go watch Top Gun again.
I was gonna say,
I know, again, on the big screen. Do not go watch Jurassic World. Do
No,
not.
no. I refuse.
Okay, good. All right, guys. Well, that there. Oh, actually, before I say, go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's still in the theater somewhere, maybe.
Oh yes, for sure.
Anyway,
I'll go to the drive-in.
there you go. Everybody likes to drive it,
Yeah,
sort of, maybe.
but we don't have those.
Not here in Orlando, but it's
You
not
would
too
think,
far.
but no.
You would think, yeah, unfortunately. But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. As always, if you have not already, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week. Mr. David Santos, take us home.
Listen, guys, don't be worried too much about Phase 4, because think about it this way, the GG podcast Phase 3 was kind of like the era where we have Phase 2 was when we had like Doomsday and all that, and then Phase 3 was when we had Chaos and Shadow, and look at us now. We're deep in Phase 5, and we're doing fine, right? You guys are still listening, right? Right?
There's potential. There's hope. Anybody
Is
out
there
there?
anybody there?
Yeah. Are we catching anybody? Probably not. Well, to the one listener in Australia, thank you so much for tuning in this week. And we will see
Or
you.
like they say in Australia, thank you, because they also speak English.
Yes, exactly. And we will see you, our one listener, next week.
GG!